it's like funny too because you asked about like who like I've still talked to from school, and like really it's not many, but like there's a few people like Bershawn. So like Bershawn's gonna be on tomorrow.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay,
Bershawn
okay.
Ward. Yeah. So you know, he's got a lot going on too. Where like he's been for the past couple of years, he's been trying to like get this like rap career off the ground. And you know, and I heard about that too, like kind of in the same way that when you were, you know, doing jiu-jitsu and you know started MMA career, but you hadn't gone professional yet. But I had just seen that, and I was like, that's wild. And then the same thing with Bershawn, I was like he's like kind of just posting little things about his songs, and then you know, then he's out. Like I found out he's out there like doing like YouTube videos with like music videos and stuff, and I was like, that's wild.
I did see something like that too. I came across that too, and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, it's cool like to just like kind of see like, you know, that outside of the norm, because it's just so easy to, you know, just do your job, you know, just whatever.
All
career.
your friends seem to be doing cool shit. You and me are just working on air conditioners.
I know. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's still a talent, man. A lot of people can't even do that.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, and that's another thing too. So with Bershawn, I think he's working for FedEx, and like that's a grind, you know.
Obviously,
like,
that's some good money right there, especially. FedEx, UPS, and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a grind though, but
yeah. Like,
I couldn't do it. But
I know, and so with those guys, they're like 24/7, like all year long. So like depending on like the shift that you get, like it could be rough, and yeah, it is a grind, because I think the way it works, I'm gonna ask him when he's on the podcast, but I think the way that works is like you just kind of get like a certain they just fill your truck up in the morning, and then you have to just go out, and then there's like whenever you get done is when you get done. So like if you're fast, you're done early,
right?
And then if you're not, then it's all day long, you know, and it's like it's rough. And so like to have a job like that, and then also be trying to like pursue this rapping thing, you know, is tough, you know. And like not even like just rapping, because we talked about this with Gardy, where like you know, it's easy to cover songs, it's hard to like write, you know, write a song and then like make a hook and then make a beat that works with it, you know. And then even then he's doing these music videos, which like they're awesome. It's so cool. So, you know, and there's tons of people that are also doing other stuff that have also thought about having on the podcast, which they're going to find out now. I haven't reached out, but Bobby Carter.
Okay, I remember him.
Yeah. So he's a realtor now.
Yeah, I think I've seen something like that.
Yeah, so I mean, like, not that that's the craziest job in the world, but that is like, that's not like a very common career path for somebody who's just like trying to find a job. Right. You know, like he's like kind of leading this like flag. I think he has like his own thing in like a Patterson Schwartz. So like it's Bobby Carter under Patterson Schwartz. Okay. You know, so it's like, I don't know, I feel like it's like kind of a big deal, you know? And
that's what's up,
yeah. And like, you know, like I'm sure you've heard like the housing market is nuts right now. So like it'd be cool to hear from him, you know, like what the heck's going on? Like what does it look like on the front line, you know, of like trying to sell houses? Because I think like for the most part, those guys, they only make their money if they're selling houses, right? Like,
yeah, I believe so. They get like some type of like commission rate or something.
It's kind of a seller's market. That's why prices are crazy. So I don't think they're having too much issues moving houses. It's people having issues coming up with the money to buy a house.
Right. Yeah.
Well, if you're on the low end.
I thought that like that how like there wasn't a lot of people that were selling houses. Because I thought it was like kind of a double-edged thing, because like you could sell your house today for a lot of money, but then you also have to buy a house today for a lot of money. Right. You know, so like your house might be worth more now, but like so are all the other houses you would love to upgrade to. You know, so like, you know, if your house is worth like $100,000 more, the house that you would love to spend $100,000 more on is also $100,000 more. So like it's like, are you getting a deal, or like should you just stay, maybe take advantage of the equity in your house, and then, you know, and then try to sell like when the market drops? Like I don't know.
I mean, people are still selling their houses. They raise their price and they get what they're asking for. That's why prices keep going up. That's true.
Yeah. They got different type of strategies and what they do, and this person knows this person, and It's always something.
Yeah. And so, like, maybe Bobby knows.
He probably knows something. Like, I got the ins and outs of something.
He's going to see this and just go, what the hell are these people talking about?
Yeah, I know. We just shouted him out. He's like, I don't want to be on the podcast. That you guys are losers. No, Bobby's so cool. And, he was always fun in school. And he's probably perfect for doing that, for selling houses. He was always that guy.
That's crazy, man. I really didn't get to speak to him too much.
Yeah.
I ran into him a few times. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And then that's funny too. Like, we're just like, you have certain classes with other people, and then like you just never see those other people in school.
Yeah.
Like, school always did like a good job of like keeping you like with like the same kids you were in school with, So like maybe you saw them at lunch, but like for the most part, like all of your classes, like you had with the same people, And so there was other people you'd see in school, and you'd be like, I never had a class with them, and then. I always thought that was weird. I always thought it would like be better to like mix everyone in as opposed to like.
Yeah, our math classes kind of did that.
Yeah.
I remember when I was like sophomore, there were like seniors in my math class or like juniors in my math.
Yeah,
class.
Is that like more like somebody who was just like on your level or off your level?
That was because they offered like pre-calc A and B and algebra and all that crap. So if you were in pre-calc at a lower year, and the senior took it. Later, then you'd be in with them. But
but I just mean like in your grade, right? Like in your grade, like there was, like you can't have everyone in your entire the whole grade all be in your same class. So like it just seemed like I only like saw the same kids in each class, like pretty much. And then like so it'd be cooler to like kind of make sure everyone gets like a good mix,
You would think.
Yeah, you would think. I don't know, but school over now, dude. And it has been a decade.
Oh,
over that now. All right, 2013.
12 years for you, 11 for you.
Yeah.
I want to think about that.
How good does it feel to be out of school?
Oh, my gosh. I would never go back to school, man. That is just not for me. Like, I did it, but I wouldn't go back. No.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Goodness, no.
Yeah, I felt the same way. Like, as soon as I, like, got into high school, like, I knew from, like, my freshman year, I was like, I'll never go to college.
Yeah, I was like, this isn't for me.
It's not for me, dude.
No,
it's not for me.
I might have been able to do it when I was still in high school and, like, still used to learning in, like, that environment, sitting at a desk all day, but I couldn't do it now. I'd fall asleep.
Yeah, and they say like people who take breaks, they go to high school and then they take a break and then they go to college. Like that's always the worst because they'll like actually never go back to college.
Oh yeah, I heard that too. I heard the same exact thing years ago.
Yeah, you'll never do it. And like if you do, like you're not gonna have the same enthusiasm.
No, you get a taste for being out there, not having to like ask permission for everything, not have everything be as structured or just as dry.
Yeah, doing whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So, well, speaking of after high school, dude. How about you? What have you been doing after high school? I would love to just start out. Yeah, I'd love to start out with just saying like, hey, like, how's your MMA career going? Which is like, you just started your professional career.
Yeah,
right?
I just went pro. Yeah, I just went pro. So, like how, like what maybe when I get into it?
Yeah, well, I would say like, I mean, just run me through like after high school.
Story?
Yeah, after high school, like what happened? Because we all stopped talking after high school, like most of us. So like. We just catch up. I mean, we treat it like a reunion,
Right.
Catch everybody up who's going to watch the podcast, who can just see what's up with Isaac since high school.
I appreciate it. Goodness, man. Oh, man, the story.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to go too much down like a rabbit hole for you.
Yeah.
But,
No, I mean, please do. I mean, this is all you. I mean, we're here to do this podcast like with you and like for you. I love being able to see you again, and just hanging out. But I mean, just taking this moment like on the podcast, just it's you, dude.
Right.
I mean, we'll talk about whatever you want, but like I'd love to just hear from you, everything.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So oh man, so one day like I always knew that I wasn't gonna go to college. It goes back to like the whole college thing, right?
Right.
I was like, I'm not going to college, man. You know what I mean? Like it's just not for me. I love it for other people, just not for me.
Yeah.
So I always knew like I would be an athlete, but I never played football. I worked out with the football team, like Bilal and everything. Like, I worked out with him.
Yeah.
And but I knew that I was like, I'm not gonna be a football player. I don't like basketball. Yeah. I'm not gonna do soccer.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be a swimmer. You know what I mean? But I knew I was gonna do something like athletic. So. Yeah. One day I was like watching the video and I was always like into like MMA and everything. So it was like this guy called like George St. Pierre, right?
Yeah.
So I was watching George St. Pierre fight one day, him and Diego Sanchez. Obviously not each other, but I was watching a guy called Diego Sanchez, and I was watching a guy called George St. Pierre. So I was at home and I was watching him. I was watching the George St. Pierre and the BJ Penn fight, and I was watching that fight, and I was like, "Yo, man, like this is crazy. Like these two dudes, the GOAT right there."
GSP,
and I was like, "Yo, man, I said this is crazy. Like if these guys can do it, like I know I can do it." And I was listening to his story and everything, and he was like bullied and everything, and he was talking about like how like when he had started and. Like he like lacked confidence and everything.
Yeah.
And, and I was like, okay. I was like, well, shoot. I said I might be able to do it. Like even if I don't like be successful, like I know like at least I'll be able to like help other people. I'll be able to like stay in shape. I can be like a personal trainer. You know what I mean? But like I knew like this is at least what I want to be able to do, or at least be able to try to do.
Yeah.
So one day I was watching the Ultimate Fighter show with Anthony Pettis, and he said like he had like just walked into a gym one day.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I don't know. I said, I guess I'll try to find the gym and just walk in just like he did. You got to start somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I went to this gym called Predator MMA. It was in Delaware. Really small gym. I started off there and I was getting smoked.
Yeah.
I was getting cooked, man. I was getting thrown around. People were sweating on me. They was tossing me around, submitting me. Yeah, man, it was crazy. I was like, man, but I love it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I was like, if I just keep trying, So I just kept going in there and everything, and I was like staying consistent with it.
Yeah.
So then after maybe like 2 or 3 months, maybe like 2 months or so, I started competing jiu-jitsu. Yeah. And then my coach was like, "Oh man, usually I make people wait like 6 months and everything, but you've been consistent." He said, I'll give you a chance, to go in there and compete." And I was like, "All right, cool." So I went in there and I had got, I believe, silver in my very first competition. I did like a Naga or like a Grappler's Quest or something like that. I went in there and I was like, "Oh man, I love it." And it's like different weight divisions. I think I was doing like 185 at the time for like jiu-jitsu. So I was doing that, and I just stayed with it, Yeah. And I was doing jiu-jitsu like heavy. Like I was doing like that's all I cared about was like jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And I was learning that heavy. And then after that, our school had shut down.
Yeah.
So I had went
That's 2020.
Something like that.
Is that like the pandemic or something, or?
No, it was like before the pandemic. It was before the pandemic.
Okay.
Yeah. So
so this is like still pretty early on.
Oh yeah, this is like I'm still like I'm nobody. I'm still like nobody.
2015, 2016 maybe.
Somewhere around there, something like that.
Okay.
Sounds about right. And I had left Predator MMA, and after I went there, I went to Jack's kickboxing gym.
Okay.
I had joined there and I had my first MMA fight there with Jack's kickboxing gym. I had a kickboxing fight when I was like 18 or 19. And then I had went to Jack's kickboxing gym and I had my first fight. I fought Canelo Rodriguez.
Okay.
I fought that guy. That was a tough fight too, man.
Yeah. Your first fight?
Yeah, my first fight, man. That dude had some my first fight.
That one right
breaks.
Yeah, man. Just watching that, like I was so trash.
Yeah.
Like I'm still trash. I mean, but yeah, just watching that fight, man, and like just going back and just looking at it and like just seeing like how how good I thought that he was, and like how good like I wasn't. You know what I mean? Like just to see like where I was then and like where I am now.
Yeah.
It was definitely kind of crazy.
But I mean, did you end up winning this fight?
Yeah, I wound up knocking him out third round and 27 seconds into the third round.
So as humble as you are talking about that. So I mean, it definitely showed. You're saying that it showed like, what a challenge felt like, But clearly, I mean, all respect, but you did knock that dude out.
Oh,
I mean, we're watching that fight right now. I mean, walk me through that. I mean, how did that feel like? Your first fight being that challenging, and then to win too?
Yeah. Oh, the first fight. So I wasn't nervous for that fight at all because I competed about 16 times in jiu-jitsu. Okay. So I was, as they say, like projections, which means absolutely nothing. Yeah. But I was supposed to go out there and submit this dude, is what people had thought, because I won like a whole bunch of jiu-jitsu tournaments. I'm coming out, jiu-jitsu guy, whatever it is. Yeah. And I didn't think nothing like that, Yeah. And like the cameras and everything was on me. I'm used to it, from like jiu-jitsu competitions and everything. Yeah. So I went out there, but it was like a different feeling. Yeah. It's like everybody's in there. It's like hundreds of people. Like the lights is on you. Thousands of people home watching you.
Real.
yeah, like this is real. Like I'm really like in my underwear in front of thousands of people. I'm hot and sweaty fighting another man. I could have been an open heart surgeon. I could have been anything. You know what I mean? Like, and I was like, oh, I'm really in here doing this, man. This is crazy. Yeah. And like when I stepped in there, I felt like so great. I felt alive, and I was like, yo, I really like deserve to be here. I feel like, you know, like this is like I know this is what I want to do. Like win, lose or draw. Like, and so. When I was in there, I said on the mic, I was like, yo, I thought I was losing the fight. You know, he was holding me. He was holding me on the cage, and like his hands was like, you know, like that's illegal. You're not like supposed to allow to like, you know, like interlock your feet or your fingers inside the cage. Mm-hmm. So you know, he was doing that, but I didn't care. You know, what I mean? I was having fun. You know, because I you know, like I love what I do. Yeah. And but people was like, oh man, he's holding the cage. He's holding the cage. Yeah. And like they were screaming it and everything, and I was like, I was like, well, I mean, it's cool. And so then I was like, I'm sure I remember me being frustrated, like coming out, and then my coach was like, cause like I was out of it, and then he was like, what are you doing, champ? Come on, like what are you doing? Like this is your time. Yeah. You don't get another time. Yeah. Like what are you doing? Like come on, like what are you doing? Wake up, wake up. He was like splashing water in my face. He said, come on, and then he came over, the ref. He was like, all right. He said, all right, Kent, you got 15 seconds. He was like, what are you doing? You need to wake up. He said, we're going into the third round. He said, it's about to be over. He said, this guy is gonna take everything you want. He's like, all right, Kent, 10 seconds left. He said, stand up. He said, get the stool, get the stool. So like now they're like going like back and forth and everything, and I'm just like, oh man. He's like, come on. He said, you say he's gonna starch this guy? Then you need to starch this guy. He's like, all right, 5 seconds off the stool. They're going through. The guy's coming through with the mop. I'm like looking around and everything. Lights is on you. I'm sweating. I'm hot. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm looking around. God. They're like, yeah, kill him dead. Kill him dead. Everybody's in the crowd. I'm like,
my God. Dead.
So, I came out and I knew that he wanted to like press me up against the cage and everything, and my cage work was kind of like, you know what I mean? Like at the time, it's my first fight, you know, like they said, like, you know, you're still wet behind the ears and everything, right?
From somewhere.
Yeah. So, like they said, like he was holding, but it didn't really matter, you know what I mean? I thought he was doing a good job, and so I wound up like reversing him, and I was like, I said, fine, his back is on the cage. I said, no, we're not doing this. So like after I had reversed him and everything, I knew like when I hit him, he would drop that right hand. Yeah. And so I'm a southpaw, so you know, just like the analytics of things, like that left hand is always going to be there, especially fighting like an orthodox fighter. Mm-hmm. So I knew like when I had broke off that left hand was going to be there, 110%, and I know I got dynamite in my left hand. I have confidence, you know what I mean? I really believe that, and when I had backed off and I hit him the one time, he was already out. And they teach you, and just unexperienced, you know, it was my first fight, you know, they do always say, you know, you don't stop until the ref comes and stops you, you know what I mean? Like until he comes and he tells you like, you know, it's over. And I knew like the first time he was dazed. I was like, okay, cool, I got this, you know, and then when I hit him again, it was over, you know, like I knew that, I knew it was going to be over, but I should have stopped hitting him. But I was just in a moment. I was like, first fight, yeah. So that's how that happened. That's how I felt. I felt it was crazy, man.
And that's a hell of a first fight, though.
Yeah. And then my second fight, I came out and I fought a really good guy too, who's a lot more experienced than me. His name is Joseph Valentino, and I still talk to that guy. I love that dude. He was a really nice guy. I still speak to him. He has a family now. He has a kid. He's looking good. Wow. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I came out. He had like more experience than me in wrestling and kickboxing. He just had more experience than me, right? You know, and I'm just coming off of you know, I was 1-0 at the time, and I'm fighting him, and it was just crazy, like in the back and everything. Like I seen like this one guy, his eye was like all like, you know, and then he was like, he's like, all right, man, good luck on the fight and everything. And I was like, yo, this dude looks crazy. Yeah. And then they're like, all right, Kent, come on, let's go, get on the line. They're like, all right, everybody, and now present. I'm like, yo, this dude just came out looking crazy. I said, this is what I'm doing. I said all the time, every time I see somebody, I'm like, oh, this is crazy, and I'm doing this.
Yeah. Is that going to be me coming out next?
Oh, man. I'm like, yo, man, this is wild. So then I came out there and everything, and I wound up beating him. I knocked him out, I think, 27 seconds into...
Holy...
15, I think it was 15 seconds, but I think it was like marked as 20 seconds in the first round.
Yeah.
It was a one-shot.
Yeah,
it was confirmed at 20 seconds into the first round. So... I was like, oh, wow.
So it looks like at the start they're expecting you to do jiu-jitsu and you just start knocking people out.
Right. You know what I mean? And so then now all of a sudden I'm like this guy who just knocks everybody out. And I'm just like, darn, you know what I mean? I think my back didn't hit the mat until I fought this one guy. My third fight, Elliot, is like when my back like finally like hit the mat and everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, finally. I was like, shoot, I finally get to hit the mat.
Right.
And the crazy part was he had submitted me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh shoot. And he's a good guy too. I still talk to everybody. I still talk to everybody who I fight. Everybody who I fight, I usually.
That's awesome.
You know, like not all of them, but I'm like, you know, I'm pretty good. You know, like I would say like acquaintances with all of them. You know, not like I'm trying to be, but you know, like just you know, sometimes like that's just like how it works.
A good camaraderie.
Yeah, you know, like it's like a lot of sacrifice getting in there. You know what I mean?
Oh
like, cutting weight.
You understand where everyone else is coming from to get to that
right.
point.
You know, I can't disrespect that guy. You know what I mean? Like cutting weight and you know, like sacrifices, and I got to go up there, you know, early in the morning, 2 or 3 training sessions, and I can't eat pizza because I love pizza. You know what I mean? I just got to cut, like, and I know he's doing the same exact thing, so it's hard to disrespect the guy that's, you know, in his underwear right across from me. It's crazy, you know?
Yeah, and then, you know, somebody has to lose, you know? And so, I mean, it's got to be tough. You know, so I mean, to share that camaraderie and like, because like you said, I mean, you guys both went in there, you know, as prepared as you guys could be, went through the same war to make sure you guys got there.
Sacrifice the same.
They sacrificed the same to be there. So like, to show that respect, I mean, that's awesome. You know, I mean, a lot of people, you see it in like the UFC and Bellator, like they don't always show the same respect. But
well, I mean, you do see a lot where like they're shit talking at the beginning. You know, they're all up in each other's face, and right after the fight, they're like hugging it out. And,
you know, you gotta sell the fight. You know, like those like that type of stuff like that is what like sells the fight. But then you got guys who's not like that and they do sell the fight, like a George St. Pierre.
Oh, always.
Or you know, like Israel Adesanya. I mean, he does talk some here and there, but you know, you got to keep the people like entertained because it is entertaining business. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Speaking of Izzy, not to be distracted from you, but that he is like he kind of got caught in the crossfires a little bit with Duplessis, right? So like that's his only like, because he's always shown like remorse and like not really been a guy to like find himself in like a, you know, a spit battle. But with Duplessis, it was a little weird. He's from Africa, and then you know what I mean. So
that
like
whole
it was
situation.
like weird, and then so like I mean like, and it's like we were saying, that's just how that goes. I mean like that subject was like particularly weird, I feel like, but but I mean it's like shit talk, you know. I mean it's just what like everybody does, and then like you know, people were, you know, obviously because like the racial profile was into that, like people were like asking Dana like, hey, like, are you gonna stop this? And he's like, these guys are fighters. What do you think I'm gonna do?
It is a lot of freedom. Like when they say it's freedom, they mean it's freedom. You can literally say whatever you want and it's perfectly fine. Like
this guy doesn't do our accounting here, okay? Like these guys do the punching. Like I don't get to ask them to calm down.
Like
why don't you go up there and try to settle yourself?
You want to bring him up here and see what he has to say?
You want to talk to this guy so that his face. It's crazy.
But GSP for sure has always been like one of those guys is like very calm, and also Dustin Poirier.
You like Dustin Poirier?
Just like, you know, he seems like he shows class, you know, seems like he shows a little bit of class and like, you know, has a good family life, you know, from what you can kind of see from social media, you know, so that's pretty cool, you know, not somebody who ever gets caught in like the crossfires of like talking trash, you know, but I should also say like at the same time, I mean, didn't we all love the McGregor era?
That's what I'm saying. Like, people love that stuff.
The trash talk. Yeah. I mean, he was the best, you know, like showing up to that press conference, he's like, I was like, I just want to apologize for being late. To absolutely fucking nobody.
I apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what he wants. I said, oh, this guy, man. It was a great line, though. I said, oh, man, that was a great line.
And then like people would try to like step to him. They're like, I can hang with him. I'll talk trash with him. And there was I forget, and it doesn't even matter who it was. It was so bad. But like the guy tried to say something in a press conference when it was like there was like a stadium stands they were all in with like a bunch of them like all sitting up there, and like somebody like way down at the front was like talking trash to Conor and like said something. Cameras on him. Like it seemed like kind of like it might have been like a jab, and then it just cuts to Conor and he's like, who the fuck was that guy?
Yeah, he said, who the fuck is that guy?
Comeback.
I think, who was that? Jeremy Stevens. Yeah, it was Jeremy Stevens.
Yeah, but what a great comeback. Not even like, don't even entertain what he said. He's like,
he said, knock people out, they're not moving.
I don't know you.
It's like,
I don't think about you at all.
Oh yeah, it's so good. But so where did the rest of these fights take you? How many was that your last fight or?
Which fight?
Well, you left off with...
You left off at your third fight.
Yeah, your third fight.
The third fight was the Elliott fight, yeah. So, So I always call up the promotion and I always ask them, especially when I was in AMI, I always asked them, as I said, listen, please find me somebody who you truly believe that can beat me.
Yeah.
That's what I would always ask. I said, find me somebody who you think will give me a challenge. I want to fight the toughest dudes. Give me a top. Everybody who I fought was always a top 5 guy, top 5, top 10 dude. You know, it's AMI. You know, you can't take that O with you when you go to pro. Like when you go pro, you can't take that O with you. Everything gets erased. And I always say, like, a lot of these dudes, like, they always want to try to be, like, you know, like, flashy and, oh, like, I'm this and I'm that and everything. Like, even, like, when I was 2-0, like, I still wanted the hardest fights. I wanted to be able to grow, you know, but you can't grow, like, inside your comfort zone.
No.
You know, and, like, I was like, yo, get me, like, I want to fight the meanest, the D1 guy. I want to fight the boogeyman. I want to fight these dudes, especially as an AMI. Like, you want to fight these guys early, you know, because, you know, like, you go and try to fight these dudes later. Now it's like it's too late now. You know, people's stock rise, people's stock go down. You know, like I know like a lot of guys who were, I wouldn't say were, but I know like some dudes that's like 5-0 as an AMI, right? Good fighters, but the promotion might not like them because, you know, like their fighting style is boring. They're not entertaining to watch. You know, like nobody's really like excited to be like, yo, I want to see this guy fight. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like at the end of the day, like it is a fight, but it is a business too. And it's like you're not exciting. You know what I mean? Like they know like you're not fighting nobody that's like important. You're fighting dudes that's like outside of like the top 50 or like outside of like the top 25. And I'm not saying like those dudes is bad or anything. No. It's just that it's a different level of competition.
You would rather be like the scrappy underdog than like the clinical.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because that's how you grow. You know, like if I was always fighting in my comfort zone and fighting dudes who I'm tailor-made to beat, I would never grow. I would never be where I'm at. I would never, like my skills would not be where they are now if I just kept fighting these dudes who I knew I was tailor-made to beat. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I always told them, I said, just please find me somebody who you think can beat me. That's the only way I'm gonna grow. I said, I cannot take this O with me when I go pro. And I didn't. You know what I mean? I told these other guys, like guys who like, you know, they want to start and everything, and they're like, okay, like I want to get on there, whatever it is, and you know, and I'm like, you know, fight the toughest guys early, fight those dudes early. You know what I mean? You know, like you'll be thanking those dudes. Like you will be thanking those guys. Those guys will definitely help you grow. And you know, Elliott, you know, top guy. I believe he's like a top 10 dude. He hasn't fought in a while since my third fight. You know, and I have 6 fights going into my 7th, and you know, and now I'm a debuter, so I'm 0-0. You know, as a pro now, so I'm 0-0. And I fought all those dudes now on my resume. You know, I fought the number 1 guy, the number 8 guy, the number 5 guy, the number 10 dude. You know what I mean? And, you know, I beat some of those dudes, lost to some of those dudes, you know what I mean, in decision. And, you know, and I was like, I wouldn't change it for the world, man. I wouldn't change it for the world. And I learned so much. And I just tell them guys, like, you know, like definitely like that is the way to go. Like that, like that's what you definitely should do. And so after that I fought another guy, which is probably my favorite fight, which was probably like where I am now is because of that fight. So I was supposed to, I wouldn't even say like where I am now. I can't, you know, give so much credit to that. But so I was coming off a loss of the Elliott fight, right? So I was coming off that loss, and so they was like, okay, well, this guy, we don't think that, you know, like he's able to do this and that, and the third. And like I'm not their guy at the time. Like I'm not their guy. They're bringing me in. Like I fight in PA for the most part. Like I fight for this promotion called Maverick. That's what I'm signed to. You know, great people. I love them people. Like I love them people. Like Miss Jenny, Willie, Bird. I love all of them. You know, in the very beginning,
Maverick.
Shout out to Maverick, Miss Jenny, Willie, Bird. I love them. All of them. You know, and in the very beginning, you know, I'm like on the outside, you know, so I'm from Jersey, but I live in Delaware, but I fight in PA. You know what I mean? So I got to drive, like me and my people, we have to drive like 2 hours away, you know, and I'm just like, you know, like this is not, like my people, like they still do come. Like I still, you know, I sell like a lot, you know, even for people to like still come like that far out, you know, that's like a 4-hour trip for people like who don't stay, you know, and like that stuff like that means a lot to me, you know, and so I was brought in to basically fight their guy who was supposed to come in there and smoke me. He was supposed to come in there and just butcher me, right? So I was like, okay, I'm cool. I said, this is what I want. I said, y'all give me what I asked for. I said, thank you. You know what I mean? I said, this is what I'm here for, you know? Everybody's like so scared to fight somebody because like they're so scared to lose, and I'm not scared of anything. Now, do I get nervous? Absolutely. But I'm not scared of anything. So I was like, I said, give me this opportunity. So I told my coach, and I said, yo, please give me this opportunity. And I said, I promise. I said, if they give me this opportunity, this is going to be the best opportunity that they ever give. I said, and I will make sure that that's what it is. And I told myself that. And I said, promise you. I said, you give me this opportunity when I fight this guy. I said, this is going to be the best opportunity ever. And he was like, all right. He said, well, then let's do it. And so I worked so hard and I trained so hard for that fight, right? And we go out there and everything. And I had like the purge mask on, right? Yeah. So I had the purge mask on. I came out there and everything, super confident, very confident. I was super excited, super confident, and I was like, yo, I'm ready for this. Yeah. And then I came out there and everything. First 15 seconds, so I was already hurt before the fight. You know, a lot of people, you know, like they fight hurt. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to be 100%. It's a fight. You know what I mean? So, but I didn't care. Right. I knew I could beat this dude. I knew for a fact I could beat this dude, and I did beat the guy. Yeah. And I did beat him. And I went out there, and first 15 seconds, boom. I was like, shoot. My leg went out. I was like, oh, my gosh, yo. I said, I believed so much I was finishing this guy inside two. Yeah. I really, truly believe I was finishing this guy inside two. Yeah. First 15 seconds, my leg went out. I was like, oh. Yeah. So
well, you just couldn't put pressure on it?
I couldn't do anything. It was gone. And it wasn't his fault. Like it was already hurt before. Yeah. You know, because I was just like, darn, man. I was like, well, whatever. I said, you know, I done did all this. People done came out here, didn't spend thousands and thousands of dollars to come out here. They didn't plaster my name on the thing. You know, people done showed up. They done bought drinks. Some people, you know, whether you're here to see me win or you're here to see me lose, you're still here to see me do what I love to do, regardless. Whether you're here to support me or not, whether you're here to support me, whether, you know, or you here to hate me, you know, you will watch me, regardless. Yeah. So I went in there and I was like, I'm not giving up. There's no way. There's no way, you know. And never been knocked out before. I said, and I told myself when I walked back to the corner, I said, well, it looks like today's going to be the day. I said, I'm going out face down. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I said, you got to put me out today. I said, heart of a lion, because I'm not going nowhere. I said, I'm here just like you here.
I'm not leaving.
Yeah, I said, I'm here just like you. I said, I'm not going nowhere, man. Yeah. And so the doctors and everything, like, they all ran in there. They was like, what's going on? What's going on? They had like the light and everything. I was like, move. And so the ref, I do respect the ref, because the ref was looking at me like he wanted to stop the fight. He was like, you know, and I was like, oh, come on. Yeah, so I spoke to my coach and everything, and he said, nah, man. He said, come on. I was like, yo, man. I said, I can't feel my leg. I said, my leg is out, man. And he was like, all right, man. He said, come on. He said, this is what champions do. This is what champions do. He said, you got this. He said, you can beat this dude. I believe in you. Da-da-da-da. Took a deep breath, and I was like, all right. I said, well, then let's go then. He came out, and then I was like, yo, I'm ready. And so I stood out in the middle of the ring, and I was waiting for him, like, you know, like not like in the middle, but I walked out and I was already ready. Like I was already ready. Yeah. And he was sitting down and everything, and you know, my leg was going. I was still standing up, and I was like, yo, I'm here. And you know, like everybody wanted him to win, and I was like, I'm cool with that. So I looked at the commentators. I said, I'm not going nowhere. I said, I know y'all want me going. I said, I'm not going nowhere, man. So I'm here just like he here. Yeah. And so he had came through, and he had got back up and everything. I caught him with a big right hand, boom, 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 hit him. I don't even remember me getting hit maybe like once or twice in that fight. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I just kept hitting him, pow, 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 you know. And then, you know, he had some good shots and everything too. And then we had came back for the third and final round. Mm-hmm. And doctors that came in. And then the lady runs in, the ref, they all come around me and everything. And like, I could see, like, the coach was like, you know, like, I hope they stop this fight. Like, please, you know, like, please stop this fight. Like, I want them to stop this fight. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then he was like, well, what's going on? And I looked at my coach, and I was like, yo, I said, I'm here. I said, I'm good. I said, we got this. Yeah. I said, I truly believe this. I said, I know I won this fight. Don't worry about it. And then he was like, all right, man. He said, well, he said, that's what you want to do. And he said, we got it. He said, well, what's wrong with his leg? And so my other coach, so it's only supposed to be one coach that comes in or whatever, I guess. I don't know what was going on. So then my other coach, I'm still standing up. And then my other coach, he runs in. It's like 2 or 3 doctors in there. The ref is in there, 2 or 3 doctors. My coach comes in. He said, wait, what did you just say? He said, his leg is cramping. He's good. He said, don't worry about it. They was like, wait, are we going to stop the fight? They said, his leg is just cramped. They said, you're good. The ref knew it was a serious injury. Right. He knew it was like, oh yeah, this is like. Yeah. But he knew I wanted to fight. He knew I wanted to finish his fight. So he was like, he said he's good. Yeah. So I walked out. I came out there, and I was like, I'm ready. High octane. Yeah. I was doing. I didn't even know I did some type of belt thing. It was so I was like, yo, I knew I won this fight. It was actually this one right here. Like I had came through. I like hit him. I had like stuffed the shot. Yeah, because he was like a really like good wrestler and everything, right? At least that's what they were saying. You know, I was like, I don't care about none of that. You know, so I came out there and I had stuffed the shot and I was like, yo, I'm ready. I was like, I'm just now coming alive. And the fight was over. And I was like, I'm just getting started. I said, I got 3 more rounds on one leg. I said, I got 3 more rounds. I'm just getting started. And that's my guy. You know, I love that dude. Yeah. And he's a really good. I still talk to him to this day. I still talk to him. Yeah. Yeah, I still speak to him. That's my guy. He's a really good dude. And nothing against him, you know.
Yeah, it's business.
Yeah, it's just business.
It's just what you guys do.
That's my guy. I hit him with that, and I knew that fight. I was like, oh yeah, like right there. I was like, oh yeah. So then I was like, well, if I found his chin one time, I said, I know I'll find it again. Boom, found it again. You know. And I was like, well, it'll be there again. You know, like I've been finding it all night. I said, you know, just take it easy. Like I had like got clipped from my knee, boom, bow. Ooh. Yeah, and I was on one leg, like you can kind of see.
He's like,
and I was just so confident, man. Like I really didn't care about none of that, you know. I just like everybody that came
which
there.
Which leg is it in this
my right
fight?
leg.
Right leg.
Yeah, you're moving pretty good for not being able to feel that thing.
Oh man, it was completely gone.
I can see like you're like stepping. Oh, the belt.
Yeah, I did. Like none of it was rehearsed. It was just like that was just me.
Jaquan.
Yeah, Jaquan was there.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. Like they all
come.
And yeah, man, like it was just so many people that was there. Like, you know, like I don't care if it's like one person that comes to see me, I treat him like it's a million. I don't care if it's like 150 people that buy my ticket, I treat him like it's a million. You know, and it was just so many people that was in there and that was like rooting for me. They really wanted me to win. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this not only for myself but for them as well. And so I went out there and I knew I won the fight. I had my hands up. I was ready. I knew I won the fight. I knew everybody knows I won the fight. You know, it is what it is. You know, politics is involved and that's okay. But I know that I won the fight. And if they feel like I didn't win the fight, they would have never gave me another opportunity to fight for the belt again if they really truly believed that he would have won that fight. But he went pro after that fight, and I fought for the belt. I had won the fight. They gave it to him by decision. Everybody was mad. It was a riot out there.
In this fight?
Yeah, they gave him the decision. A lot of people was upset about that. You know, still my guy. Well, love him.
Yeah, for sure. Dude.
Yeah, he's not the one making the calls.
It's not his fault. You know, I love him. That's my guy.
Yeah, but and like obviously this is like, you know, more like your highlight reel, but I mean that right there when you sting him and you see him like stumble, like that's what I was gonna say before. I was like just seeing him get stung like that. I mean, it's like it's hard to like not see the whole fight, you know what I mean? But it was but boy, yeah. I mean, it looks like you guys took some beatings. So
yeah. Yeah, and so then I came back and I fought another good guy, Hunter May. I think he was like 3-0 at the time or something like that. Yeah. I'm not sure if you can get Facebook, but the fight was kind of like on Facebook too. But I had fought him and he had came back from like knocking somebody out or whatever it is. I think he has like knockouts, whatever it is. I believe it's on my Facebook.
Just search up there.
Yeah. Kent, K-E-N-T. Oh, you spelled it right too. Okay, nice. I think if you just kind of like scroll down, it should be there. Yeah, this one right here. Oof. Yeah. So it was Hunter, who was a really nice guy as well too. I still speak to him too, and I think he was coming off like 3 knockouts or something. Yeah. And you know, people wanted him to win, and I was like, I'm cool with that. That's fine. You know, but I know I'm the champion because I just got finished beating the #1 guy. Yeah. You know, I knew I beat the #1 dude, and so now I'm here to defend the belt. Yeah. You know, that's what I was saying. So I was defending the belt. I came out there and I had knocked him out, I think 1 minute and 27 seconds into the first round or something. And then, and that's how I had basically defended my belt there. And then that was a really crazy night. That night was wild. Yeah. That night was insane, man. Like, yeah. So I defended,
I mean, what is that feeling like when you get that belt wrapped around you? I mean,
it was like, I'll tell you what this one guy had said. He had came up and he had watched the Gunner fight. And he had said, he was like, yo, man, he said, I know that you won the fight. Everybody knows you won the fight. He said that I could tell that you was really upset at the decision that they did. He said, I know that they was wrong. Everybody knew that they was wrong. He said, and I could tell when you was coming out for this fight that it meant so much to you. And you was coming out to destroy. Right. You know? And I was like, wow, like he really remembered the fight, and he, you know what I mean? And they still talk about that fight to this day. And like, yeah, man, it just like I always say, like, the judges can't rob a finish.
Right.
Judges cannot rob a finish.
Yeah.
So just like going out there and being able to really like defend it and let everybody know, like, yeah, like this is mine. Like I always say, sometimes, you know, you gotta let your nuts hang.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, sometimes that's what you gotta do.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
And but yeah, man, it was definitely it was a great experience to really be like, yes, this is mine.
Yeah.
Like I earned this.
Yeah.
You know, you can't take
no
this
one can
away.
say you didn't earn it.
Yeah, like you can't say, like, you know, there was no decision. Like a finish is the only way to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's like like they say, like leaving it up to the judges. Like, don't leave it up to the judges. Like, finish this fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
It's just somebody else's opinion, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, I don't know like too much about like the actual scorecards that like the judges use like in the UFC, but I know like and I don't even say like go as far as to say which places that aren't good, but like you hear it all the time that there's places like different arenas that have terrible judges. Like you go state to state and they have terrible judges in the UFC where they're like, I mean, habitually they're just calling fights wrong, like unanimously, like because there's so many people who do understand it and will like score the fight themselves or watch it later and they're like, it doesn't add up. Like, how did the judges miss all this? You know, and so that's just one of those things you gotta like just have to come to terms with. You know, that you could win a fight, but the judges can say you didn't. You know, it's crazy.
It's
like
crazy,
you said,
man.
leaving it up to a finish is the best way. You know. Yeah.
So, can we pull up the IG thing again?
Yeah.
So like the aftermath of it, like the very first one that's pinned. Yeah. So like this was the aftermath of the Hunter May fight before I get into the other fight. And
yeah, this was a super cool video, dude.
I appreciate it, man. It was just like, wow. And I had 5 fights, and at that time I had 5 fights and 4 fight of the nights. So I was just like, wow. So now I have 6 fights and still 4 fight of the nights. I have 2 knockouts of the year. I was jiu-jitsu fighter of the year. So I have like, you know, some accolades, not the best, but yeah, man, it was just like, I was like, wow, you know, to like really like see like my name like in the lights and like, you know, like when you come out and it's just like boom, and I was just like, wow, man. Like,
that's got to be surreal.
Yeah, man. Like, and I remember like when I very first started, like that Stellar fight when I knocked the dude out in the 3rd round, I think I sold 7 tickets for that fight. Only 7 people, like a lot of people, like they knew me, you know, like they like, oh, like that's that guy, like they'll root for me, but like under my name, I think I only sold like 7 tickets for that fight, you know, and like now, like the numbers that I'm doing now is just is so much more. It's just crazy, man. Like it is a blessing, and
That's amazing, dude.
It's surprising. Like I'm just like, man, like wow.
I'd love to come to one of these fights. Where are they at usually?
I usually fight like near like the Poconos, like up in PA.
Cool.
Yeah. So hopefully they're able to come down like a little bit more closer. You know, but
I think one of those said it was like tagged in like Bethlehem or something.
Yeah, Bethlehem and everything like that. Yeah. They asked me why don't I fight closer? You know what I mean? But I feel like here, like they was giving me like the fights that I need, far as like the tough fights. Like I don't want to be like the guy like where they're like, you know, like we're gonna pamper this guy, we're gonna do this, that, and the third. I'm like, I need to earn that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like I need to earn this.
Yeah, you're getting the work that you want.
Right. Like I'm getting the work that I want. I want to fight these boogeymen, dude. Like I want to fight these tough guys. And for me to be able to have 5 fights and 4 fight of the nights at that time, I think was amazing.
Yeah.
You know? And
that's such a great like perspective too, and like for you to realize that like so young and in such a competitive and like at times could be humiliating sport, to be like no, I don't want anything easy. I don't want anything to confirm that I'm like as good as I think I am. Like I want to be humbled every step of the way, and like to recognize you have to do that in the amateur side. That's so cool.
No, that's
I mean, a lot of people
that gets you places.
Yeah, a lot of people wouldn't look at it that way, and they'd be scared of losing, and they would want to make sure they get some wins under their belt so that they make themselves feel better. But you took it to a totally different. You were like, no, like I need to have some losses. I need to know what that feels like. I need to know what the best fighters feel like, not find that out later. You know, and that's hard to like, it makes sense when you say it, but like to be in your shoes and then to think that, or, you know, even if you're just kind of like steered that way without you even knowing, I mean, it's just, that has got to make a huge difference.
I mean,
in like
it takes a bit of fortitude and integrity, I think, to walk into a ring going against a guy knowing like, he's gonna rock my shit.
Yeah, hell yeah. Like,
yeah.
I appreciate it, man. I really do appreciate
huge,
that, man.
Yeah,
you know, and it's almost like now, like, and it's crazy because I do know a lot of guys. Like I said, I know some guys that's like 5-0, man, and them 5-0s is like against some Weenie Hut Jr. people. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, like you're not that guy, you know. And I know some dudes that's like 4-6, and those dudes is studs. And I seen those 4 and 6 guys when they go pro. Those are the dudes that go 8-0. You know what I mean? Those are the guys that go like 9-0. Like those are like the UFC guys, the Bellator guys, the PFL guys. You know. And I'm not saying like all of them, like some of them undefeated dudes, like they are good, you know what I mean? But they don't have that challenge, man. And I'm just like, that resume is a weak resume that you have. Right. And it's like we see the type of level of competition that you're fighting here.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, come on, man, like you can't take that with you when you go pro.
It's not doing you any favors.
No.
Yeah, having that 5-0 does nothing.
No.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on. And so I think after the Hunter fight, I wanted to get right back in there. Yeah. I was like, I want to fight again. You know what I mean? I said, they was like, well, you know, you have the, you like, you know, well, you know, you already defended the belt. You know, you can take some time off. I said, well, you stay ready. You don't have to worry about getting ready.
Right.
You know? So I want to stay consistent. You know what I mean? I want to be in there. Like I'm not here, you know what I mean, just for like a long time. You know, I'm here for a long time and a good time. You know? Like I'm here, I'm here.
To get the experience, to have the enjoyment of every piece of it.
Yeah, I'm here to do this. Not
I'm here like this is what I'm doing.
The good, the bad, the ugly.
Right. Yeah. So so then right after that I fought Nart. So Nart was I think he fights like a higher weight class or something. I think he fights like 205 or something. I don't know. I just know that I was like, yo, find me somebody who can win, who will be able to win. And then they was like, all right, well, we'll find this dude. So I was supposed to fight some other guy, but then he had backed out or something like that. And then so I was like, all right, I've had like a lot of people back out of my fights, a lot. I mean,
what's that like? Is that pretty frustrating?
In the beginning it was, because I had to wait like quite a while just to like, you know, like fight somebody. Yeah, because like people like, you know, like the first fight, like people don't want to fight somebody who like they just seen, you know, me knock the guy out. Yeah, they don't want to fight.
They don't
somebody.
Want the loss.
Right. They don't want to do that. I'm sorry. They don't like. You're they don't want to.
No, don't worry.
Like they don't want to fight somebody like that. They're like, I want to fight somebody who I know isn't really going to finish me, or I'll fight a wrestler, because a wrestler isn't usually he's probably like going to lay on you. Like he's not really going to try to finish you. He might try to submit you, but he's not like. There's no real danger fighting you know, like a wrestler or anything. So it's like, okay, cool. So, they went in there, and it was so tough to find somebody after for my second fight. So that's why I was like, Joseph Valentino, he came in, and that's when I had fought him. And so I was like, okay, cool. It shouldn't be too much more harder. So it wasn't too much more harder, because then Elliot, he was a stud himself. So I was like, okay, that's cool. Boom. Yeah. And so then I fought another one. So I just been fighting studs. So I was like, all right, this is what we need. This is what I'm talking about.
Galvanized.
Here. Right. You know what I mean? Like I was like a Viking. Yeah. Said, this is what we need. Yeah. So after that, I had fought Nard. I don't know too much about him. I just know that I think he was a champion over at Flex or something. So it was a champion versus champion fight.
Different organization?
Yeah, I think he fought like at Flex or something like that. And I think he had a belt. All I know is that he fought at a higher weight class, and he was coming down, he had a belt. That was good enough for me.
Yeah, that's professional?
This was my last Amy fight.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, so this was my last Amy fight. And so I was like, okay, that's cool. And so I know that was a really good one. And then after that fight, then I went pro. Okay. So then after that fight, we had to get rescheduled.
How do you decide to do something like that? I mean,
go pro?
Talking with your coach, yeah. Like, what's that decision look like?
And what does that change?
So the rule sets is when you very first start, like in Delaware. So every state, like kind of like how you said, like every state is like different, like different rule sets and everything. So when I was fighting in Delaware, you had like the stupid shin pads on, which is so uncomfortable. Like, but head kicks are allowed, like ground and pound to the face in Delaware. In PA, you have the shin pads on. It's 3 2-minute rounds, so you're only fighting 6 minutes. Yeah, in PA, it's the same exact thing, but there's no ground and pound to the face. Okay. So there's no head kicks and there's no ground and pound to the face. So in PA, you're basically fighting wrestlers. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you're not fighting no stand up guys. Really, everybody is like, as they say, like nut huggers, basically. You know what I mean? Like crotch sniffers, jock sniffers, cage climbers. They hate them people. But in PA, that's what it is. You're fighting, you know, you're fighting 3-2, 6 minutes, no head kicks, no knees, no elbows. It's just, you know, you take the dude down and lay and pray, as people would say. Yeah. And I was like, that's where I need to be. Yeah. And I was like, you know, I need to work on that, so that's where I want to be. I don't want to be in Delaware where I know I'm able to excel. Yeah. So I want to go there.
Chasing that challenge again.
Yeah. So especially as an AME, 100%. Especially as an AME. So that's how it was in Delaware. And then when you go to advanced AMI, so in PA, now I think after like 2 fights, if you go 3-0 or 2-1, the commission gives you the decision, like they give you like the head nod to be like, okay, you qualify for advanced AMI. So now in advanced AMI, you have in PA, in advanced AMI is in PA, there's no head kicks. There's no head kicks, but there's ground and pound to the face now. So there's ground and pound to the face. There's no head kicks, no knees or elbows, and it's 3 threes. So now you're fighting 9 minutes. You're fighting like better competition. So there's no shin pads. Like in Virginia is a different animal. Like Amy's is in there throwing knees, and that's a different animal. Yeah, Virginia is crazy. But in PA, like that's how it is. Like in advanced AMI, you go to 3 threes, 9 minutes.
Okay.
So then when you go pro, it's a lot more. So now you're fighting 5 fives. You're fighting, 15 minutes now. So you're fighting 5 fives, elbows to the face.
25 minutes.
Yeah, 25-5. Yeah.
Oh, I said 5 fives?
Yeah.
Oh, 5 threes. I'm doing some UFC type stuff.
Yeah. I was like, UFC. Damn, that's big time, bro.
Yeah. UFC is on that.
It's a 3-5 minute. Yeah.
Yeah, you might find some like other like promotions where they might do like 5 fives or whatever it is, but usually it's 5 threes. You're fighting 15 minutes in there.
Yeah.
And there's elbows to the face, knees to the face, and all the good stuff basically. So all it is different for me is just elbows, knees, and a couple extra minutes. Yeah, that's really about it.
Nice.
So
okay.
Yeah, I was able
and
to
so
prepare
like
for that.
so it's basically like you're just going straight for like as soon as they're like as soon as you're eligible to go pro, you wanted to go pro. I got to know if there was like a big decision between like you and the coach and just kind of like, hey, like where am I at? Like, do you think it's time for me to go pro? Like, or did you like from the beginning you were like, I'm ready?
Yeah, so I knew I was gonna go pro. It was just like a matter of time of like when I wanted to fight everybody who I felt was the best around at one point before I went to pro. Like, cause I could have went pro like after I wanted to say. Like after like my 4th fight, if I want to go pro, I could have went pro. Like you kind of go pro like whenever you want to. Like you'll see like somebody's skill level, like who is like okay, like this guy needs to not be fighting AMIs. This dude is clearly a professional. Yeah. Like you can go pro like when you're like 2-0, 1-0, never fought before and go pro.
Wow.
Yeah, you can go pro kind of like almost like whenever you want to. Like it's up to the commission like if they're gonna like allow it.
Okay.
Usually those guys who go pro earlier are like stud wrestlers, like D1 wrestlers. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or they have like crazy like kickboxing experience, like a like a really good boxer.
As a kid,
it is.
yeah.
But I told him I could have went pro when I was like 3-0. Well, not 3-0, but like when I had like 3 fights, like 4 fights or everything. But I was like, I want to kind of get like some more fights going on. Let me get like 6 at least. I think 6 is a good number. Yeah. And so he was like, okay. So I just kept doing that, and then I rode the wave until I was like, yo, I'm ready to go pro. I said, there's nothing left for me to do on the AMI scene. I done did everything. I said, I done proved it. I done fought the best dude, beat him, took the belt, defended the belt. There's nothing else left I need. You know what I mean? Yeah. Did it hurt? I was like, I'm good, man. Yeah. So I was like, yo, I said, I think we're ready for this walk. And so I called them up. I was like, yo, this is what I want to do. I want to make this decision. I said, I think this is what is going to happen, And it was so crazy. It was so crazy because, like I said, I went from selling 7 tickets, man. I would never forget. I will never forget. I went from selling 7 tickets, man. It was to like nobody didn't know like who I was. Yeah. I maybe was like people would like like they would see you and they'd be like, oh whatever, like this guy or you know what I mean? Like that 7 tickets really stuck with me. Yeah. And it'd be to the point to where it'd be annoying. Like people like they would see the knockouts and they'd be like, oh man, like when's your next fight? And I'm like, I know you don't really care. You just you know you see like you're just excited. Yeah. You know what I mean? But like you don't
the
really
winner.
Care. Yeah, you're just excited. You know what I mean? Because you see it and it's like whatever. And when I got on the phone, I announced it, I got offers from like multiple like organizations and everything, and I was like, wait, what? And then, my coach had called me and it was like, yo, X, Y, and Z, like this person and like this organization was hitting me up and like this people, like they wanted me. So it was just like for multiple organizations to even be looking at me was just kind of like, wow, almost like NFL draft basically. Yeah. From like almost like being like projected like a 7th round to like almost like going like in like round 1. I'm not sure if y'all watch football or anything. Yeah. Y'all play fantasy kind of like off?
No, I have to admit I do not play fantasy. All of football, I feel you, and I get that reaction more commonly than not than you believe. Dude, so here's my thing. It's so complicated. Like, it's so complicated. It seems like
sports in general.
Yeah, well, I mean, probably, but it's like I tried playing fantasy football, and then I found out that it was almost harder than like actual football, and I was like, Jesus, right? So like, yeah, I know, I get it, and I totally understand it because it is entertaining and it's so much fun. But like the thing is like I think that for me, and I talk about this all the time, even with like video games, I feel like I'm a broken record at this point. Where like I love video games. I haven't played them since probably 2016. Yep. Yeah, dude. I got my license. I got out of the house. I got like kind of on my own feet, and you would never find me back at the house. You know, I just like I always had this feeling of like FOMO and like missing out on something, and like just being out and doing something. And then before I knew it, like I just like forgot about it.
Right.
And what I would say though too is that like when I was playing video games, you know this, 8 hours is like boom, nothing. It's nothing.
New Call of Duty comes out. Yeah, and I got to get through this campaign.
Yeah, so it's I know that it's a there's probably there's a lot of positives, right? There's good things from it. I think it's a good stress relief. I think it's closer to therapeutic than it is relaxing. I would say like most games that you can play are like kind of crazy, like and they'll get your heart rate up and your palms are sweating and like it's crazy. And like I think a lot of that stuff is good and it's like a good thing to do.
It's an outlet.
Yeah, but I think that also it can be a huge waste of time if you're not careful, you know, and especially like playing live. And, you know, I have dogs, I have a fiance, I have this house.
Congrats,
and like,
I seen. I was like,
thank you.
My guy.
Yeah, I found the perfect woman. Yeah, dude. So I mean, and then also like just work, you know. I'm like super invested in my job as well. As far and then to today, now we're doing this podcast, which has been
is a valuable commodity anymore.
Yeah, man. This podcast, work, fiance, dogs, and then just having a minute to relax. I usually do that with Holly, you know, and it's hard to do that with like playing video games, you know what I mean? Because like it's hard to like find that relaxation. So like there's just like so many things like that where you're just like there's not a relaxing point.
So to wrap that back to fantasy sports, you just don't have time for it.
Yeah. So now when it comes to sports, same thing. I have a hard time just keeping up with like the Eagles, you know, keeping up with like keeping up. Yeah, the Eagles. Yeah.
That's your team too.
I mean, I'm not super big. I'm a bandwagon fan. Like
hey, man, kept it 100. I respect it.
If any of the Philly teams are like going to like the Super Bowl, the World Series, then I'll start paying attention. Like back when the Phillies won the 2008 World Series, I can tell you the entire like lineup.
Yeah.
I don't know who's playing. I couldn't name a single person on the Phillies right now.
Okay.
And but you could agree that's the hard part is like keeping up with the draft, keeping up with like the injury list, keeping up with like where the coaches are, you know, keeping up with like who bought the team, like and what's next for the team and all that stuff. And then each player themselves all is doing better or worse throughout the year. Different things happen, and like when you talk to someone who like really knows sports, to me it's fascinating because it's the amount that they know about these people that they don't know anything about is crazy, you know. And then now this is like where it gets funny is because like I found myself getting sucked into UFC. You know, and like kind of like understanding like what everybody's records were, and like I could like I'm sitting on the couch watching a UFC thing with Holly, which she enjoys as well, and I was like just spouting out facts, and I was like, how the hell do I know that? Right. Like what the hell? Like, and I'm like I realized I was getting sucked in, you know, and I did the same thing happening with sports, but like anytime like I'm just trading my time for something else. So like fantasy football, that's even harder because like now, like, I mean, as far as I know is like, you're just picking like players off of other teams that are playing at the same time, putting them on your roster, and how they do in those individual games is how they do on your roster, which is like, that's confusing.
Well, now you gotta watch keep multiple teams play.
Yeah, I gotta keep up with all of these teams. I'm like, man, it's stressful. It's so stressful too. But I mean, but in a good way. It's good fun. So I get the appeal
for sure.
Exactly.
I just don't have the time or the mental like bandwidth to pay attention to it all.
But
I do know the difference between a 7th round pick and a 1st round pick.
Yeah.
Right.
So to go back to what you said originally, we're going off on a tangent.
Yeah.
No, down the rabbit hole.
Because I'm like a huge person on like wasting time and all that. Because like it's just the way I am.
Put all of your social media apps into a folder called Time Wasters.
It's so true.
Yeah, wrong with that.
I mean, I'm just like, I'm so conscious of it all the time. So it's like, it's something that's always like been so important to me. But I don't know if it's done me any good or not, or maybe I'm just missing out on life. I don't know. But tell me about your fantasy football.
Oh,
come on.
What?
Let's talk about it.
Listen. I broke the bank with a couple fantasy football leagues, man. Listen, man, my guy had got me into fantasy football because I was like, man, I'm not really into this type of stuff. And then he started getting me into it. We was talking about it, and man, I've been doing dynasty leagues, redraft leagues, empire leagues, guillotine leagues.
Jeez.
I've been doing all types of leagues, man. So I just been doing that like a lot. Like I'm always doing like year round. I draft year round all the time. Yeah. The crazy part is like you know Jonathan Taylor?
No.
He's like a running back for the Colts. Yeah, he's like a running back from the Colts. Me and him like from like the same exact area. And his sister is so sweet, man. His sister and his family is so nice.
Dude, do you want to know how out of touch that I am? Who's the guy who was in our grade and went to the Raiders?
That's Bilal, I think, right?
Yeah, Bilal.
Yeah, I think that's him. I think he got drafted to the Bears, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, now he's at the Bears.
I think he's at the Raiders now, right? I thought he got drafted to the Bears.
Yeah, I think you're right. He started at the Bears and then got drafted. When he got drafted,
it was to the Bears.
It was to the Bears,
and
now he's at the Raiders.
I think so. Yeah.
So my friend Clayton was on, and he's like, oh yeah, you talked to Bilal, like as if like that guy was like a normal thing that I would just be like talking to Bilal. And I was like no, I haven't really talked to him like since high school. It's like it's been a long time, and he's like no, I mean like he's playing NFL. He's in the NFL. like I'm like, what, dude? Like what? Like that's how out of it I am.
Yeah. But this is him. Me and him were like from the same exact. We went to Salem, New Jersey. That's where I'm born. So we was both born in Salem. But his family's really nice, man. His sister and everything too. Yeah. So like he's like a like a big time back and everything like that. So I actually need more shares of him in fantasy. I probably only have like one of them, maybe one or two. But yeah. So but yeah, man, fantasy is it's a way to have fun. And it's also a way to win money and lose money. But it is fun though. I love it.
Yeah, no, and like when I played, I was always just like a free thing. Like you just played for points. It was just like a fun thing because I didn't know enough to just like get in there and lose money.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was like, fuck that, But yeah, no, for sure. I mean, you can bet on anything nowadays, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
One of my buddies bets on like sports and all that, and it goes beyond just like, okay, who do you think is going to win? It's going to lose. It's like, okay, they're going to win by this many points. By doing this many touchdowns or field goals or this many baskets, this many 3-pointers. Like you can bet. It's so granular on all the little shit you can bet on. You can make money. Like you can bet the wrong team's winning, but because you got this right, you'll still make money.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I always knew that about like the NFL. Like you can bet on every game, to do like something like that. Especially the Super Bowl, like from like the coin toss to like every like little play in the game you can bet on. I mean, everything, and it's crazy, and people do a lot. I think what was it? I just saw a headline. I didn't read the article, but I think it was like there's already like $2 billion that's been like bets have been placed. $2 billion worth of bets that have been placed on the NFL Super Bowl this year already.
From like week 1, like preseason to
like right now.
What?
Like that's how many people are betting and betting big.
I believe it.
Yeah, betting big. I mean, what was it? I think last year Drake bet like something ridiculous, like a couple $1 million on the coin toss.
He does.
Yeah,
on a coin toss?
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. People go nuts. They're just like for no reason. It's like
that's what he does.
Yeah,
he
honestly,
will do that.
And I was just talking to one of my coworkers about this, but like I think the coin toss might be one of the safer bets.
It's 50-50.
Because I mean, like you either know that you're going to win or you're going to lose.
Right,
like, there's a lot of people who bet on scores or like how many yards someone went. I mean, like you could get it right, or it could be a million other different possibilities.
But also, one of our coworkers said that every time they go to the casino, they go for the roulette table because it's 50-50. You just bet black or red. And I'm like,
I love roulette. I play roulette too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've heard that like true roulette players, they hate those side bets. Yeah, like those guys are like, they got their mortgage on the line, you know, they're sitting at that table like just white knuckling, just making sure that they hit something, and then you're just over there like, yeah, like you like won like $1,000 because like you bet on like one or the other, you know, and like because we've been in a casino before and got some dirty looks, and my friend had to like come over and he just happened to see us, and then was like reading the table. You know a lot more about like casinos and like etiquette. How that goes. Yeah, the etiquette. And he was like, you guys have to leave. Like, I'm telling you right now. He's like, everyone at this table is not happy with you. And he's like, we're like, what are you talking about? We're like, we're having a great, we're drinking, having a good time, and, so we're not reading the room, dude. Like, we're just kind of doing our thing. And then he's like, no. And like, we walked away. Like, as I was walking away, I like turned around, like, and I could see everyone looking at us as we walked away. And I was like,
what did y'all like? You was just like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was probably because we're being a little rambunctious as well. Because like our success rate was way better than theirs. They're all sitting at the table and like we're standing behind, and we just kind of reach in. We're just like, yeah, we want this, on black, or we want this on red. And so like our success rate is a lot faster, but like the bets aren't as good. Like these guys, like if you're able to do like the right number with like the right color, and like I know there's like a lot to like the like where you can bet on the table, like it's like you can win a lot of money, like it's way different,
lose it all.
And so like there's most people sitting at that table have lost it all, and they're just trying to get back, and so like we're having a great time. We're kind of putting a damper on these guys' parades is like just kind of how like it goes. And it's like, so I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, why not? I mean, like, because like if I'm like, it's not like I'm doing anything they can't do. So why don't they? You know what I mean? So
right.
Like, but apparently, like you said, it's like the etiquette. And like my friend was like, yo, you guys have been here too long. You guys have to go.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I don't get it either. And like maybe somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe those guys just were angry at us, and my friend just saw it and was like, yo, don't get beat up in the parking lot.
That's so crazy, man.
Yeah, casinos, man, they're fun, but for a little bit.
Wild.
Yeah,
don't have too much fun though.
Yeah, I've only been to the casino probably like 3 or 4 times, and I think each time I've at least left like with what I came with, but I think like 50-50. But I've won like $600 before. That was pretty cool. Like I think I was up 1,000 and like but walked away with 600. So
right.
Like, not bad. But yeah.
But to circle back, since we didn't went all the way, you know what I mean,
to football. Yeah.
Which is perfectly fine.
I know. Yeah, back to you.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
We just got to your professional career.
Yeah. So I had so like a lot of organizations, like they had one of me, which was a surprise because like I said, I wasn't expecting that, to selling 7 tickets to where I am now. But then just like being able to get like multiple like fight of the nights and everything. My coach had called me up and everything, and I told him, I was like, well, I kind of want to like stay like where I'm at, and this one place that offered me to like pay me like double of like what they were doing. They said, well, we'll pay double whatever it is, like we'll match it and we'll give you X, Y, and Z,
Mm-hmm.
And I told my coach, I said, well, I'm kind of like, loyalty before royalty, you know what I mean? I said, it's not so much about the money. I said, I'll be able to get that. Like, I'm confident in myself. I know I'll be able to get that. Like, I'm going to get that regardless. Like, I'll be fine. And, he was telling me everything, and, we was talking about it. And so my coach had called me back, and then they had called me back, and he was like, yo, listen, this is what we're going to do. And we started running down and everything. And I was like, I was so, oh man, yo, I was just like, I was so happy. I was so surprised. I was so shocked. I was like, yo, I said, I'm not going to shed no tear here, man. I said, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I said, I can't do that. So like, they was just on the phone. They was just telling me everything. And I was just like, I said, I cannot believe like this is actually happening. Like this is really like this is huge for me. You know what I mean?
Another
like,
moment where it's all becoming real.
Yeah, I was like, yo, this is huge. Like this is like wow, this is really happening. Like this is like wow. And I had did that and everything, and so then like now like we're pulling the trigger and everything. So now I'm like a professional athlete, which is kind of crazy to say.
Yeah,
it's crazy to say, man. I'm like, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, dude, it's got to be surreal.
Yeah, people like they'll recognize me. Like some people like they'll like I'll like walk through, or like let's say like in like certain locations or whatever.
Right.
Or like I remember like the one day like I was like through the store, and somebody came up to me. They was like, no, I'm sorry. one was in the store, but I was like walking to like the gym and everything, and this guy had came up to me, and he was like, "Yo, man," he said, "I know you, I recognize you." I was like, "Nah, man, you got the wrong guy." I said, "You got the wrong guy, man." I said, "You don't recognize me. I'm nobody important."
Yeah.
And then he was like, he said, "Nah, I've seen you." He said, "You're a fighter, right?" I said, "Nah, man." I said, "There's a lot of those guys out there, man."
Yeah.
I said, "It's some other guy." And he was like, no, I've seen you before on Facebook. I've seen you fight before on Facebook and everything. I've seen you.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, like this guy, he started like running like things down and everything. And I was like, wow, man, like he really he knew who I was. And I was just like, that was like one of like the very first experiences, like when it very first happened.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like walking at like another place, and this one guy, he had recognized me, and he said, "Yeah, you fight for Maverick, right?" He said, "Yo, I seen this dude fight like 3 times, man." He said, "Can I get a picture with you?" And I was like,
and like, that's
what?
crazy.
Yeah, he asked me for a picture, and I was
geez.
like, wow. And I was like, nah, man. I said, "Can I get a picture with you?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, man." So I got a picture with him and everything, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so
God.
nice, yo. I was just like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude.
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
I'm still shocked at it, because I don't even see myself to be nothing like that. You know what I mean? It's just,
I know.
it's
dude,
crazy.
You're so humble, dude. You're so
I
humble.
appreciate it, man. Just because like I know like there's people that's like, you know, like there's so many other people that's like better than me, and you know, like I'm trying to be like this person, or like I see like this person, like I'm like, yo, man, you know, like I'm trying to be like that, and like now like people come up to me and they're saying like, yo, man, like I like that. I'm like, darn, like I was saying that about this guy.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of like become like one of your heroes, you know?
Yeah,
the people that
it's
you
like,
look up
wow,
to. And
I'll never understand it.
Yeah, even cooler, like the people that are in your industry, you know? Like you're becoming, it's really happening. You know?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's like you do all this work, spend all that time, you know, and you just hope that you're doing the right thing. You're hoping that people come and watch. You're hoping all that. And then like just wake up one day and then someone's like, take a picture with me. Like, it's crazy.
I was like,
That's
wow.
wild, dude. It's
insane.
It's crazy.
And then like I started. And then there was a time where I was like, yo, I want to know like who's the first UFC fighter I'm gonna run into. I was like, who is the first UFC guy I'm gonna see? And I've met tons of them now.
Really?
Tons of them, man. So I think the most notable one is probably Matt Serra.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I met Matt Serra. They actually the crazy part is a lot of these UFC guys, they come around here.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of guys that's in the UFC that you probably wouldn't even know. Like you probably walk by like some of these dudes and you probably wouldn't even know like who they even are. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
I've heard
like,
people say that before too. Like the
definitely.
roster's so big. It's way bigger than what you're watching. Yeah.
Yeah, they have like a lot of guys in Philly and everything. But Matt Serra is probably like the most notable guy. Aljamain Sterling, Chris Weidman, Al LaQuinta.
You met all these guys?
Yeah, I met all these guys.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Al LaQuinta. I met Aljamain when he was the champion, because he came from CFFC, which was right there in Philly.
Yeah.
At the 2300 arena.
Yeah.
So he started there at CFFC. He started local. He was right around the corner. So he still comes back and everything. I want to say who else. So like those like the mainstream guys.
Yeah, the big ones.
You know. And then
very big ones.
Yeah, it was like
very big ones.
My coach was in the UFC, Tim Williams.
Okay.
You ever seen The Ultimate Fighter before?
Yeah, I've watched a little bit of it.
You ever seen the one with Uriah Hall? That Uriah Hall season?
No. I should go back and watch it. I think they stopped doing it, right?
They still do them.
They do them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought they stopped doing it for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I know like that's how a lot of those guys all got started. I mean, tons of guys. You know, like, but yeah.
So my coach is in the UFC. His name is Tim Williams. Dude's a stud. I think he's like 40-something years old.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Would you be able to pull him up?
Yeah.
Yeah, his name's like Tim Williams, man. That dude is a stud, man. I'm like, how old is this guy? Like 40? He still smokes people, man. Every day. I'm like, this guy is way too good. You know what I mean? I'm like, how is this dude? Yeah, and he's from Jersey. They call him the South Jersey Strangler. Yep.
The South Jersey Strangler.
And he's like all scary looking and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, he is scary.
37? He's only 37?
Wow.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah.
That dude is so good, man. That dude is so good.
Yeah, you said that's your coach?
Yeah, that's one of my coaches. Yeah,
Okay.
that's one of my coaches. Tim Williams. He was there that fight with my leg and everything. He was the one that was like, we don't care, you're a champion. He was the guy.
Yeah.
He was the guy. That's the guy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tim Williams.
Yeah. Yeah, he has that stone scary face.
Yeah, that dude.
That's a scary dude. Yeah.
Him and you know, like being like with Bill Aljo, he's also a UFC fighter. You know, like when I met him, I was like, yo, ain't you that guy in the UFC? He was like, yeah. I said, man, he looks so much more different in person, you know?
Yeah.
Just like the talent pool is just like, it's so much more different, you know, like when you see like those dudes, like little things matter, you know, like it's like a game of like inches to like centimeters. Like, you know, like in the very beginning, like, you know, you can like, you know, like close your eyes and swing, like even a blind squirrel will throw it, like, you know what I mean? Like, like you can just swing and hit anything, but like, you know, like when you start fighting like the upper echelon guys, like it's a game of inches and centimeters, you know, and like just sparring with those dudes, I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, there's definitely, you know, like,
I
you
haven't
can tell.
watched like too many UFC fights. I've gone out a couple times with friends to like Buffalo Wild Wings and watched it, but like the dodging, I don't get how they can like read the punches coming and dodge in fractions of a second, one after another. It's just, that absolutely blows my mind watching.
It's almost fights. Like 1, 2, 3 ABC, you know, like if you know, like there's a jab, a cross is probably coming behind it. Jab, cross, hook. That's like, you know, like that's like basic stuff that they show, you know, like jab, cross, hook. You know, if you slip a jab outside, you know, the 2 is probably going to come straight down the middle. You know, you have like a knee.
Anticipation, knowing what they're probably going to follow up with.
You'll know, like if like, you know, like if I know like this one guy, he throws like a body hook, he might come up top like another hook, you know, like that's like his tendency. So you know to like, you know, do like a duck under or like a slip or anything, or you might shoot for a takedown. You know, it just becomes like more like not only natural, but you'll be able to read the guy that you're fighting. You know, like you'll know like, okay, this guy is doing this. This is what he's doing. We know, like, okay, like just like the guy, like the first guy I fought, like he kept going like against the cage, like, okay, like I know this is what he wants to do. It's the same exact thing.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, it is crazy when you get in there though.
Yeah. So there's like a universal textbook sometimes for like certain things. Like you're up against a cage, it's probably going to play out this way.
Yeah, it's like basic things
these
like
combinations,
you know, right?
He's going to be like that.
Like you know, like you got to lay the foundation before you put the house on top first. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, like you can't go to this move before you do this first. Like you know, like you have to set your feet. It's just certain things you got to do. Like you can't just I'm going to try to take this guy's back. Like the guy is not just going to give you his back. You know, like you got to earn certain positions. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then there's things like Wonder Boy Thompson, who's like famous for the question mark kick. You know? And there's things like that where like that kick's very hard to read. Where like, you know, and I'm sure like you like, you know, try to read people's body language to like see what they're setting up. You know, is that anything like you guys do like before the fight?
Oh yeah, 100%. You know, but I try not to read too much into it because somebody can always go in there and do something different.
Right.
You know, so. Like you always kind of like want to like break up like the rhythm like with certain fighters, and every fighter is different. And like they do say like their styles make fights, but every fighter is different. Like when you go in there, like this guy he might do this or he might do that. Like you're not fighting the same exact guy every single time. You know, so it's almost like solving a puzzle every single time. Like, you know, like you step in there. So like I'll do like certain things to like throw my opponent off, or like I'll do like, you know, like little tactics or like little antics, like, you know, like different things. But I try to mix it up because, you know, you don't want them to like be like, okay, this is what he's doing. This is his go-to. I know. Yeah. You know, because on the other end of that, you know, like his coach, you might have like, you know, like a good coach on the end of that, you know, and the coach can't get in there and fight for you. You know, the coach, like, I don't care if your coach is George St. Pierre, back to my guy, or John Jones. John Jones can't get in the ring and fight for you. No. You know, I don't care what he know. I'm not fighting John Jones. I'm fighting you, you know. So, but yeah, man, like that mastermind can also help, you know, if you have a good student that actually listens to your coach as well, too. Yeah. So, you know, it's almost like you kind of are fighting the coach in a sense, if he listens. Yeah. You know, but most of them, they don't listen. You know, you get hit and then they just get scrambled, and then, you know, it takes away confidence and everything for some people.
Yeah, how much do you remember of like being in your fight and then like listening to your coach in the middle? Is there a lot of that, or is it all just tuned out?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I hope they don't get upset when they hear this. I probably never hear nothing that they say. I've never heard, unless I'm like on like like my last fight, like I was near my corner basically. So like they always like they'll like. I know my opponent's gonna watch it, so I don't want to say too much.
No,
but
don't give it away.
Yeah, I would say I know, you know, but like I was like near like my corner, so like I'm able to hear like my corner, you know. So I can hear like, you know, like what he's saying. He's like, you know, how'd you do this? Da, da, da. So like now I'm listening, you know. So like I can hear what you're saying. So then I do listen. But like if I'm like in the middle of the crowd, like I don't hear what you're saying. Like at least not in my fights, because my fights are usually pretty loud. Yeah. Like. Some people's fights, it's like super quiet. Like you can hear like a pin drop. Like people, they just like, you know, like they're not really interested in the fight, or they're just like whatever. But like my fights, they're usually pretty loud. Like I don't ever hear what they're saying. I hear, knock him out. He's kill him. You know. So I always hear this one guy. He was like, I hear him every single fight, and he was like, he said, all right, he said, good eyes. He said, get him up to the cage. He said, put his head on the back of the cage. He was like, yeah, now posture up. I hear everything like that he said, but I don't hear my own coaches.
Yeah. Maybe you should have him work for like your crew back then. Your coach tell him what to say.
He said, tell him what to say. He's like, I got you, baby. We call him Big Easy. Yeah, I love Big Easy, man. That dude's a rider, yo.
That's funny. I've always wondered that, like, because if like I've always thought like if like the corner's talking to someone like to that fighter to do something, like can't the other opponent hear what they're about to do? You know, it's like one of those.
Yeah, like that's what I usually do. I'll like listen to like what the coach is saying. Like I usually don't never hear my own
coach.
Yeah, I never
be like, oh, you want to do that? I'm getting off the ground.
Yeah, like I'll hear him. They'll be like, I was fighting this one dude. He was like, he said it's on the other side. It's on the other side. I was like, all right, cool. He's going to the other side. You know, so like now, like I know. Like I usually listen to like my opponent's coaches way more than my own coaches. You know?
That's funny.
Yeah, definitely, because like they're literally like telling you like what they're gonna do.
Right, it plays out in your favor though.
Oh yeah, like I hear that like a lot.
If your coach is yelling at you to do something and your opponent hears that, you're like, if you don't do that, he's just not expecting.
They're like outside slip, outside slip. You know, like head kick comes, boom. You know what I'm saying? It's like wait a minute. Yeah. You know, like you kind of like scrambled egg there a little bit. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
Have you ever been to a fight before?
No.
Not in person, no.
What? Yo,
I know.
You would love it.
I know. I didn't realize it was such a big thing, like in the amateur way. And like, I mean, I just think I just never really thought about it because it has to be, right? I mean, that's how everyone gets started. And like the more small gyms there are, like, you know, and then like I stumbled upon Jack's gym, like you were talking about, and like they do some fights there, don't they?
Not there, but they train there. They used to years ago.
Okay. But yeah, now they're doing like those guys are putting up a lot of fighters and stuff, and I was like, holy shit! Like there's like all this stuff like just kind of happened all around me.
I've just been completely blind to it.
Just been blind.
There's a lot of studs walking around, and you won't even. Like they said, like, and the crazy part is like for me to be a fighter, I would say I probably can count like on one hand how many fights I've been in like since I've been fighting like outside of the ring. Yeah. And like I've had like I think I've had like 82 jiu-jitsu matches. Like that's not even a lot. Like some dudes have like 300, 100 and something. I only have like 82. So I have like 82 like jiu-jitsu matches, like 77, 82, something like that. 6 MMA fights, couple kickboxing fights, like nothing too crazy. But
I mean, it seems crazy to someone.
It sounds
who has
pretty
no
crazy.
Fighting.
Right. It sounds like, but you see them other dudes. They're like, yeah, man, you know, I compete. Like some dudes compete like twice a week. 2-3 times a week, or like they'll compete every weekend, or like they'll travel to compete. Like them dudes, is, you know what I mean. But I could probably count like on one hand how many altercations I've had. Like I usually don't give anybody like a reason to be like, you know, like I don't like this guy, or I want to fight this dude. I'm gonna try him. You know what I mean? Like somebody comes up and you think it is? I'm gonna do this. I'm like, you're right. I don't want no problems. I'm sorry. You know, you're right. I don't want any. I'm sorry. You know. I don't want no problems with anybody. Man.
Yeah, I feel like you hear that a lot. Where like, like fighters, people who do jiu-jitsu are like the nicest people, and like the people that are like gonna be least, they have the least probability of actually getting into a fight. You know, and like they're the most equipped, to actually get into a fight.
You got nothing to prove. You already know you're good.
It's like it's really
and
no
all
point.
that anger is out, and all that like the aggression of like, you know, like a simple like man brain, a guy brain is to like
like
be
the ego.
Oh, I can fight. Like let me just like this is my chance to prove I can fight, and like, you know, you just roll jiu-jitsu like 3 times a week, you're like, no, I know where I stand. I'm like, I could literally kill 90% of everyone that walks in front of me, dude. Like I'm good. Like this guy is a loser. Guy. Like just give him the cauliflower ear and just keep walking.
That's the only way you'll be able to really tell. Like he might not be a fighter, but he's done something. Like he's probably been a wrestler. Like he's done something. That's probably the only way. Like, I don't have cauliflower ear. You know, but some dudes you'll be like, like a balloon. Some I feel like definitely there's got to be some guys who just love it, but then there's like some guys who just like don't even try to not get it, you know. But it's got to be terrible for your ears too. Like you don't want it. One time I thought I was almost having it. I was so nervous, man. I was running around. My ear was like inflamed for like a week, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm about to get cauliflower ear. Oh my gosh, I got one cauliflower ear. And I woke up. I was like, I ain't got cauliflower ear. So I was nervous, man. I was like, I'm about to be walking around like one of those people. Yeah, because there's some fighters you can see that like have had so much of it, even if they've had like the surgery to get rid of it, like their one ear is just
gotten bigger.
Yeah.
It's just longer and just bigger. And it looks silly.
Swollen shut practically.
Yeah, or they just don't do anything about it. And they just leave it calcified.
Last time I went to Buffalo Wild Wings and watched the fight, and that went on till like 1 a.m.
Oh yeah.
But like almost everyone that went up there, ears just swollen shut. I'm like,
Oh, it was what? Yeah, they probably was either fighters or wrestlers.
To your point, is that like nowadays, like there's a lot of trained people walking around today.
Yeah, that's like, probably the only way you'll know is if they've, if they have cauliflower. They've wrestled or they've maybe boxed. You don't really see too many boxers with it though, but like they've fought before.
Yeah, you don't really see people who just like fight on the street with cauliflower. The only people with that are people who are like professionally fighting.
Yeah. Like like wrestling their lives or something. Yeah, you're like, okay, this guy clearly knows something.
Yeah, I remember I was just working in like a small, I forget what town it was, but it was like a small town, and they had this like little hardware store, convenience store, and when I went to go check out, the guy like walked out from the back, and I remember like just seeing his like cauliflower ear, and I was like, damn. I was like, that's sick. But like it's just, it's one of those things where it's just like you would have no idea that guy trains. But then like you see his ear, you're like, oh fuck.
I know,
like
man.
Not messing with that guy.
One of my other coaches, he doesn't even have it, and he doesn't want me to say his name. He's such a diva, man. He's such a diva. But I love that dude, man. He treats me like I'm like his kid, yo.
Yeah.
He treats me like I'm like his kid. He literally does everything for me. He buys me stuff like when we like travel like for the fights. He like pays for everything. And I'm like, yo, you don't have to do that. Like let me don't you worry about it. You're stupid. You don't know anything. Like you shouldn't have an opinion. Like what are you doing? Like you don't know anything. I keep telling you, young guys. I'm like, all right, man. Like whatever. And he was actually the guy like the big the big guy that kind of looks like Butterbean.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like in the one video, he looks just like Butterbean.
No way.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Coach Rob, that's my guy, man.
Yeah.
But he is like, oh man, he's like a diva.
Yeah.
But I love him though, man. Yeah.
Does he have like a career as well?
I know he fought before, but I'm not sure. Like I never tried to look him up. No, but I know that's my guy though.
Yeah. I was just wondering if we could pull him up. But
yeah, I know. But that's definitely one of them though. Yeah. Him and Rob. That was like, yeah, it's cool, dude.
So you've gone professional. Have you done a fight in your professional career yet?
No,
so
not
you
yet.
Just started.
Yeah, I just started going pro.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks,
man. Congratulations.
Thank
dude.
you.
It's so sick.
Yeah, I was surprised. Like on my debut, I was the co-main event, and I was like on the cover, and I was like, what? I was like, yo, go. I called my grandma up. My grandma doesn't go to him. So I was like, yo, grandma, da-da-da. She was like, I'm so proud of you, boy. Da-da-da-da. Like, oh, man. And she was like, I haven't spoke to you in 2 months. I was like, grandma, I just spoke to you in 2 days. I just spoke to you 2 days ago, grandma.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she was excited and everything. Yeah. But just to kind of like be on the cover, I was just like, wow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was kind of crazy.
So when is your first fight coming up?
I know it's going to be like sooner than later.
So it's still a little up in the air?
Yeah, it's up in the air, but it's definitely going to be a lot more sooner than later, and I am so ecstatic, yo. I'm so excited.
Try to find a way to get there.
Oh, I'm already thinking about that. I was like, as soon as he said it, I'm like, I need to know when. Like,
yo, y'all
would
have so much fun.
Yeah,
we have so much fun. It's so much more different. Like Jaquan, he goes. I'm trying to think of people that you might know. Vaughn, you remember Vaughn?
Sounds familiar.
Vaughn, he was in that picture too.
Last name?
Graham.
Yeah, definitely familiar. I'm trying to put it to a face. It's been so long.
Yeah, Bree.
Yeah.
Jaquan got a kid now.
Oh, no way. Good for him.
Yeah, he's basically married.
Wow.
Yeah, but he has a kid now and everything. Yeah, Bree. Remember Brianna Marshall?
Yes.
Yeah. So she goes. I'm trying to think who else goes that you would know. But those are like the three main. Like Ramir Carney. You remember Ramir?
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes. Yeah. He goes to all of. He went to every single one of them.
Yeah.
A lot of them people go. Like the teachers, like they might not go, but they'll watch.
Nice.
Like they do. Yeah, they do support. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Shamir Moss, remember Shamir?
Yes.
Eric Qualls?
Yes. Eric.
Yeah. They go. They all go.
I'm still friends with both of them on social media.
They go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And so you said, so like most of these are all in PA.
I usually fight in PA.
Yeah,
for the most part.
PA. Nice. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, like where we're at, we're not far from the Poconos, so like, yeah, they would totally be easy.
How far are y'all from the Poconos?
I mean, it's only like what, probably an hour and a half.
Probably an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's like 2 hours some change for me.
Yeah,
sucks, man.
Yeah, and you're in New Jersey.
I'm in Delaware.
You're in Delaware.
Yeah, I'm in Delaware. Yeah, I train in Delaware.
Gotcha.
I do everything in Delaware for the most part.
Yeah.
Okay. I went to Vegas a couple times in Canada, and I trained up there. But I do everything in Delaware. Yeah.
Nice. What'd you do up there, Canada?
Up in Canada, man, it was a snowstorm. It was terrible getting up there, man. it was an 8-hour drive. I never drove that long before in my entire life.
Wow.
Not a driver. Yeah. Don't like it.
Yeah.
But they invited me to stay out there and go out there and everything. So I went out there, and it was amazing, yo.
It was like an organization.
No, it was a gym. I went up there and I was training up at a place called Tanuki. Okay. And it was really nice, man. Like, those people was like amazing.
Yeah.
Yo. Yeah. And one of the fighters who used to live out there, she actually moved down, and she lives in Jersey now.
Okay.
And she fights down here too.
Nice.
But yeah, it was really nice. It was like I got to train with some guy from Bellator. I forgot his name, but he was really good, and it was just really nice. It was like people there was amazing. It was like they wanted to pay for everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I got it. Let me. No. They was like, yo, get it.
Yeah,
Bring the bag.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, but it was really nice. I really liked it. I would love to go up there again.
Yeah, that's cool. So what is I mean, obviously without getting in any way of like your secrets, but like what's your training look like today? You know, now going into your professional career.
It's almost kind of like still the same exact thing. We'll work like a couple more like different things, you know, like we have like knees and elbows that we got to do, you know, everything kind of like still like stays the same. It's just, you know, because I was fighting advanced AMI for, you know, quite a while. So, you know, it's almost the same, just a couple more minutes, just knees and elbows, you know, so it's not like too much more different, but I'm still training, you know, like extensively. I still run. Road work is so important, man.
Mm-hmm.
Road work is so important. And I noticed like there's a difference when I don't do road work. Road work is like when you're just like running outside, like when you're like, you know, feet is hitting cement or feet hitting grass versus, you know, like on the treadmill or like on elliptical and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I did road work before and I did the elliptical, and I felt so much more better when I do road work.
Yeah.
So much more better.
Yeah.
And it's almost like what you do like on like road work is almost like double what you do like on the elliptical.
Oh yeah.
Double. Yeah. It's a huge difference. So before, like when I fought the one guy, I did 10 miles like road work that day. I think I ran 10 miles a week before that fight. Yeah. And I went in there and I fought him the week after. I felt amazing. Yeah. I was doing like elliptical. I was probably doing maybe like 10 miles on the elliptical. It was not the same. Like when I got in the fight, it just wasn't the same. I was like, this isn't the same. But every time like I'm running, it's so much more like run. Like I'm a big runner.
Yeah, like a gas tank. You feel like you just had more.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. When you run out of gas, even a car, you know, will break out, like break down like on the side of the road. You know what I mean? So a gas tank is very important. You know. You get tired in the fight, man. Yeah, you don't want to be tired in the fight. Yeah. You know, like the other guy's tired too. But, you know, you just don't want to be more tired. That's
exactly.
all.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and like you were saying, it's just these like little tiny things, these little moments that are going to make a difference.
You said it was, you know, competition measured in inches or centimeters.
Yeah. Yes.
Exactly.
Very.
Everything counts.
Everything counts.
Yeah.
Everything counts.
Yeah, I like to run, and I've noticed the same thing. I'll go all winter running on a treadmill, and then I'll like in the summertime try to go run, like on the street, and like I feel like I get gassed like on the road so much faster, but I feel like it's because like it feels like you're running too slow when you're running on the road, right? You know, because like you're running slow. Like on a treadmill, you can like trick yourself into being like, no, this is a good pace. This does feel fast. And then you're on the road and you're like, don't I always run this fast? Like things aren't really going by too fast. Like you like trick yourself into like being like, all right, run a little faster. This sucks.
Yeah.
Before you know it, you're like doing like a sprint for a while. Yeah. It's like. So I can imagine
moving here. We got to pick it up.
Yeah.
It's like we gotta we gotta get this going here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't beat that. So you train every day? Is that the way it goes?
Yeah, I usually train every day, and I'll take like Sunday off.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like some days it doesn't always have to be like so extensive. Like you know, it doesn't always have to be like a hardcore session. You know, but I'll usually train every single day, and I'll take off maybe like a Sunday or so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
I think you're gonna have to like hit the gym right after this. We're taking one of his training days.
Yeah. I know.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, feel free to do whatever you want with what little equipment I have.
And y'all are always more than welcome to come to the gym too, man. If y'all ever want to.
Yeah, dude. I mean, absolutely. Yeah, I would definitely be down. I remember I did a couple of jiu-jitsu training classes, and then the pandemic hit. and then that was it.
Yeah,
that sounds about right. I hung the gi up.
Yeah, I was doing. I hate the gi.
Yeah, I mean, but that's like what they would always say. Like that's how they wanted me to start. Like in the class, they're like, if you haven't done any of it, like we want you to start with this. And I was like, all right, like whatever. Like I was just like excited to like just start learning it, you know. And then the pandemic hit, and then like I said, I bought a house, and then because it's been no time since then, you know. But I just haven't gotten back out, you know. And there's a few gyms around, but just kind of hasn't really like taken me, you know. But do you work now too?
So like basically like, this is like my career, and so you know, so then they was like, well, you know, you really don't need this like that no more. You know, like you don't need it no more. Like it's that time. Like you have a lot of potential. You don't need to do that. Like it's time to really go to the next level. Yeah. And so I had a conversation with my coach and everything, and we had spoke about that. And then I was like, well, okay, well, this is what we're going to do. We going, you know, balls deep in, like I said before. On now, you got to let your nuts hang sometime. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, well, cool, this is what we're going to do. And he was like, yeah, man. He said, so this is what we're going to do. We put everything into it. And so that's basically what happened.
Nice.
Yeah. That's when you took that step. No more other job.
They was like, they said, this is what you got. Yeah, it was like, this is you. Yeah. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, imagine that was a bit of a big decision to make at the time.
Yeah. Feeling like you might be like 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Oh no, never that. No, never that. Like if you're in 1 foot in, 1 foot out,
your job never even came close to like taking your concentration.
Never.
Okay.
So you were pretty confident at that point. Like I can make a career out of this. I have nothing 100%. To worry about.
100%. Yeah, you got to be able to believe in yourself and trust in yourself. 100%. And I was like, yo, this is what I'm gonna do. This is it. This is what we doing. Yeah. We got it. Yeah. And so he was like, yeah. And so then after we did that, we went over the numbers and everything, and I was like, this is what I want to do. And I also own my own business, too. Independent travel agent as well, too.
Nice.
Yeah. So I did that, and I was like, yo, I'm good. And that was it. And so the rest is history. Yeah.
Nice. That's amazing that worked out for you. Like,
I appreciate it. Yeah, it was
good for you, man.
I appreciate it, man. It was just crazy, man. I was just like, man.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm sure you have to understand like how like not normal that is, you know, especially talking to like just two regular guys and how crazy it is that you take a leap like that to just.
You're gonna go from working in Walmart and GameStop to I'm a professional MMA fighter.
Walmart and like GameStop. Yeah. I had a warehouse job. Yeah, warehouse job, man. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's crazy. Like they definitely they support me, man. They do, and they are.
That's good.
Nothing bad to say about them people. Nothing bad to say about them people, man.
Yeah. Damn, dude. It's still like to me, it's like, it's crazy. Like, I mean, just like from the outside looking in and just watching you, like to me, it's surreal, you know? It's like, it doesn't even seem like, you know, when you're a kid, they always say like you can be whatever you want to be, and like, but you don't believe that, you know? And
well, you do it first, and then it gets beat out of you in school.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I did. I don't have much memory of believing it, you know. And then like just to see like you just like wake up one day and you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna do that, you know. And it's like it's it's inspiring. Yeah, it's inspiring.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, it's super cool. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna pee real quick. If you guys don't mind, just take a small break.
Go ahead.
Yeah, like the first time I met her, I was like, who the hell is that? And I was like, I've got to.
I need to figure out. I was
like,
I
got to figure out who this is, and like immediately, all of I know, right? But immediately, like all of my friends, the girls that were like that know her, that her friends were like, you cannot hurt her. Like this is no joke. You cannot hurt her. Like she's not the girl that you're allowed to like to hurt. And I'm like, okay, like. You know, it's all good. And so from that day on, and well, I should say also, so at that, there was just a house party. My friend had just moved into his house and just had a housewarming, and she brought this, like, it must have been like 60 something beers in this giant case. And they were all the Dogfish Head, the 60 minute. I don't know if you're familiar with the beer. They're a Delaware brewery. So it's kind of cool. But it was also like I liked, and I was the only one out of all my friends that liked IPAs, and I was like, "Who brought this?" They were like, "That's Holly," and I was like, "Now I gotta know." And so I like walked up to her and I saw that she had one, and I asked for one, and she's like, "You actually like these?" She's like, "I brought so many," and like it turns out no one here likes them. I was like, "I like them," and then from there on, dude, it's been history. Yeah, dude. Yeah. So it's like it's kind of cute, and then like before we knew it, like going on dates, and it was like. It was kind of like a fall time of year. So I think our first date was at Highland Orchard, which is up. It's like kind of like Millburn's. Same thing, just like an orchard. So it was like that's a cute little thing for us. But yeah, man, the rest is history. You know?
Okay, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, we dated for like 2 years and then bought this house together and got engaged and just trying to plan a wedding.
That's nice, man.
Yeah, which is a lot harder than I thought. Planning a wedding. Man. Yeah,
that's what's up.
Yeah. So it's cool. Couldn't be happier, man. So, but
that's amazing.
Yeah. How about you, man? You got anyone in your life?
Oh, no.
Just keeping it simple? Staying focused?
Oh, yeah, man. I can't. Nah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, it's crazy, man. Oh, God. Like, I don't want to be married. I don't want to have kids. Yeah. Nothing, man. They're like, oh, well, you'll change your mind. We all been saying that for years now. Yeah. You know what I mean? I have no intentions. I do not want to be married. I don't want to have kids at all. Yeah. That's just me. Yeah. I love it for everybody else. It's just not just for me. Yeah. That's all. Mm-hmm. But,
yeah. No, I feel it. Yeah. Holly and I, that's the other thing that, we have in common, like just by chance, is that like we both really don't want kids, and like not that we don't like kids, and like Holly works with kids. She works for a daycare. And, so her thing, like, she's like, I love kids and I'm actually really, really, really good at my job. But she's like, I can't imagine doing it all day long as a job and then coming home and then having to do it with my own kids. So she's like, it's hard. Yeah. And I also feel like, it's not all about money. It shouldn't all be about money with having kids, but it's a lot about having money. Like if you like, it's
everything's freaking expensive nowadays.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of one of those things where like if I was doing crazy good financially, it would be a lot easier to like come to terms with that decision. But it can be really difficult. And one of the also like unfortunate things with the relationships is that like a kid can definitely test that. Financial situations can definitely test that relationship. So not that I think that like Holly and I's relationship couldn't handle either one of those things, but it's just one of those things where it's like, why walk into that, And especially if you like truly don't have that passion to be like a mother or a father. And again, like not that like you said, not that there's anything wrong with it, but it just doesn't really like seem that appealing. I don't have any like drive to be like, that's what I want to do. Right. So like to me, it's just like we got some dogs and like they're our children. Yeah, and like that's it.
Yeah, that's kids in itself.
Yeah, for sure. And
that's
like
a
they're
permanent
expensive.
2-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and like kids are always pumped to see you. They're not calling you names. They're just pumped to see you all the time.
Well, what are you doing over there? Yeah, you're not doing none of that nonsense.
Yeah, it's just it's a simpler life too, and you don't have to get a sitter. The dogs are just cool by themselves. But and I will say like now going to Oregon, going to do all those things, you still have to do something. And if you have kids, you could totally go to Oregon with some kids, but it's gonna be hard to go to Oregon with 2 dogs, especially if you have to fly.
Yeah, a lot of hotels aren't going to say no kids allowed, but a lot of hotels are really going to be dog friendly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I got a question for both of y'all. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Before I forget the question.
Yeah.
Now, I can't say that. Okay. I'm going to refrain from asking that one. Who was your favorite person that you had on the podcast so far?
I mean, we've only had
3 people. It's early, dude. Yeah, I mean it's early. So so far we've had Fluff counts as a guest. He's been a guest a few times. Clayton, and then Gardy. And now you, Joel, and then you.
Joel, okay. I feel like I'm honored. Yeah. Okay, I feel honored to be here at the beginning for y'all blow up. Yeah. Just don't forget about me, all right? Yeah. Y'all turn into like the Joe Rogan and everything.
Hey, listen, before us, man.
Yeah, we're more worried about you forgetting about us.
No, I'm not like that, man. Nah.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully you'll be on before you go to the UFC.
Oh my gosh. Man.
But we have. I mean, dude, we've just been like talking away. I mean, it's already been like 2 hours. It's been so much
fun.
And it's like, dude, we can keep talking. Like, not at all. But I'm just saying, like, the time's just flown by. Dude. It's been so much fun, man.
I'm cool. Yeah, y'all got the day. Y'all got me for the day.
Awesome.
I called my coach, let him know, yo, look, can we do this? He said, yay.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool.
That.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I mean, you've definitely had one of the most interesting stories coming on here, though.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Trajectory.
I appreciate it. Thank
you,
dude.
Not to diminish anybody who's been on or who's going to be on, but I mean, no one can take away the fact how cool of a story that you have, dude.
I appreciate it.
And dude, it's just so cool. And like, you're so humble about it. But like,
thank you,
dude,
man.
I mean, like, sky's the limit with you, man. It seems like you're going really far.
I appreciate it.
Definitely let us know when your first fight.
Yeah, the first pro fight is.
Yeah, I'll be bugging you.
Yeah, I'm so excited, man. I'm so excited, man.
Yeah.
See, I don't have I didn't put everything on there. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like you want the people to go, so I don't want to put too much on social media. You know what I mean? But oh man, like the whole performance itself, man. Y'all would definitely have a really good time.
Yeah,
y'all would definitely have a little good. Yes, y'all would have a great time, man.
Does somebody film your whole fights?
They have like their cameraman. I think the one guy, their new camera guy, was like, I think he came from the UFC or something that I was told.
Okay.
He came from the UFC or something like that. I'm not sure what was going on with that. That's just what I was told.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have a camera guy like who would like come around or like they would like film me like with certain things and everything like that. But I wouldn't say like I have like a designated guy that like follows me around and do like embeddeds and everything. Like no, I'm not doing all of that.
I mean, like your fights are recorded in their entirety. I imagine like you could use that as like a training tool as well to rewatch a fight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Like they record everything. Yeah, they record everything.
Yeah.
So like to watch any of my older fights, they would have to be like on pay-per-view, basically, or like somebody would have to record it or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
But it would have to be like pay-per-view brought. Yeah.
Yeah. So like Adrian said, like that's a good point. Like, do you have the availability to like go back and watch tape of your fights to try to like learn from things and to like improve yourself? Do you have that ability?
Yeah, I usually don't watch myself too much, man, because I just
leave it up to the coaches.
That's okay. I don't like watching these podcasts myself.
I can't stand watching myself, man. I'm like, oh man, I can't stand it. Yeah. Whether I win, lose, draw, I'm just like, oh, I can't stand it, man. Yeah. But like I do, like I'll like glance at it. I'm like, okay, that's enough, and then I let my coach take care of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but.
Yeah, I feel like I do that. I mean, I have to like listen to all these podcasts and go through all the editing. Like I'm just forced to like do it all. So like I did the same thing with Adrian, where I'm just like, hey, we like messed up around here. We probably should have done this, or like I talked over you, or whatever. Like it's the same thing. I'm like his coach.
That's what's up. Yeah, man. There's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, not at all. I mean, like this total partnership between Adrian and I. But I'm just saying, like I like because it's here.
The computer's at your house. You're the one doing the editing.
Yeah, I had to go through it all. And so like that's just funny that you say that. But
so you like the editor?
Well,
look, at this point he's the producer and the editor.
Oh
yeah,
so, okay. So you like the co-host, like the tech guy.
He likes to say it's a partnership, but really I'm just here to talk.
Yeah,
because he's got all the equipment, everything's here. So I'd have to like come over here to record and then come over here if I wanted to help with like editing and all that.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, and so it's like one of those things where like, you can't really take turns editing. It's like it's kind of one of those things you just like hunker down and just get it done.
Trying to get like a 30 gigabyte file between computers so that I can mess with it at my house and then bring it back here and let him mess with it. It's just
got you.
Practical.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a partnership. It is.
Definitely a part. Yeah, man, because I was like, so I'm not like big like on social media. I can't stand social media. It's not my thing. Yeah. So I had seen like a message or something. I was like, wait, what is it? What is this? Right? Yeah. So I had went through and I was like, yo, because I get so many of them things. I'm like, what is
days
this?
After?
I was like, wait,
I was like, dude, I'm like, fuck. Damn it. Like, should I like? It's like, do I like text? How do I go to text him? I hit somebody else up. Like, how do I get a hold of this guy? Like, does he have someone that handles his social media that just like blocked me?
No. Like, I'm like, man, I was like, wait. And then like one day I had like logged on or whatever it is. Because like I usually won't be on there for like extensive amount of time, whatever. Yeah. Especially like if I like black my profile out, that means I'm usually not active. You know what I mean? So I kind of give that's like a way to like let people know. Yeah. So like I'm on like Gram, but I'm usually not on there like too much. I'll be on that periodically. Yeah. So like there was like messages and stuff, and I'm like, damn, man, I can't read all these. Yeah. But I still got notifications and stuff, man. I'm just like, okay. So I had like swiped over. And then it was like a message request or something. I was like, wait, what? What is this? Yeah. And it was like a couple of these. And I was like, wait a minute. I said, oh, hey, this is Keith. I said, that's my guy. I said, yeah, I know him. And so then I went and I was like, oh, this was like 7 days ago. I said, oh, he probably thinks I'm a fraud. He probably thinks. I was like, oh, man. He probably thinks I'm a fraud. I said, no. I really didn't know. I didn't see it. Yeah. So I was like, okay. Yeah. But yeah, man. So I was like, I hope you don't think that.
I just figured you were just like you said, either like you're just not really big on social media, which I can also respect, and then or that just like it was one of those things where like somebody else was handling it. Because I was looking at your profile and you're somebody like camera guys like kind of following. Because you say you don't have like your own personal guy, but there was like a promotional shoot. That was pretty sick.
Yeah, so we'll do that and everything. Especially, I think it was.
Had you like walking down the?
Well, no, there's another one that like has
I think it was the Hunter one.
Yeah.
That one right there. This to the left. I think it was that one. It should be this one.
Yeah.
That one.
So that was pretty sick, dude.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. I'm like, dude, this is tough. And you're right. Like, you didn't have that much like recent stuff. So I was like, yeah, maybe he's just not on, or like maybe he has another account. I was like trying to look for you somewhere else. because dude, I just got my Facebook hacked, and I was like, now that's a dead account. So check out for that if you're on Facebook. Wow, okay. But so like I was worried about that too. I was like, I don't know if this is like your old account or like whatever. He's got a
promotional account and then a personal account that
exactly. About. Yeah. But I mean, I'm glad we got in contact, dude, and have you here.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was awesome. And for your coach to make the availability for you too, like it was really cool.
Oh yeah, I would have did it anyway. I would have had to. He's a diva, man. But
I would have had to.
Yeah, I would have to really like let him know, like, yo, this is what I'm doing. Yeah. See, that's what your problem is. I'm like, all right, man. He really goes off, man. But he is strict on me. He is strict. Yeah. Like, don't play the game and get off the video game. Right. Stupid. Because I watch anime. I'm big on anime. Okay. I'm not sure if y'all watch it or not.
Yeah. I've seen. Some.
Yeah,
I've got friends who are way into it as well. So
yeah, I'm definitely big on anime. Play video games. That's like my thing. Like when I'm not, like, I don't drink or smoke. Mm-hmm. Like I don't go to parties or nothing. Yeah. Like none of that type of stuff.
Yeah, and that's the best for your career now. Like that's where you got to stay. Yeah.
Yeah. People are like, oh, you don't smoke or drink? I'm like, no, I don't.
Yeah. Yeah, there'll be a time for that, for you to like maybe like kick back, have some drinks, like maybe your fights are few or far between, but like, man, you're on the path right now.
I appreciate it, huge, man. Dude.
Yeah. So speaking of that, like, how are you as far as like nutrition? Vitamins, supplements. Like, how far do you go?
I think you said you can't eat pizza now.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, I mean, like that's like weight cuts and stuff, right? So like making weight. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I'm a pescatarian. I've been a pescatarian for 10 years now. So I don't eat beef, pork, chicken, or turkey.
Fish. Yeah.
Yeah. Just so I don't eat any of that. So all the time, like that's just how I am. So it's kind of easy, but like carbs is like my thing. Like I love carbs. Like I love meat. Like that's my thing. Yeah. So like carbs is like that's what really blows me up. Yeah. I'm sitting back and like eating carbs and like that's what makes me like it makes me like a hippo. Yeah. So I'm all big and everything. Yeah. But otherwise than that, I'm usually like drink water with like mint, cucumbers. Mm-hmm. I eat like a lot of like fruits and vegetables, lemon, lime. I do like a lot of like eat like I would say like healthy eating, but I try to stay strict on that, man. But pizza, man,
that's it.
Yeah, I'm that. It gets me every time, man.
It's your kryptonite.
Yes, it's pizza. Like,
yeah. So how about like intermittent fasting? I was gonna say because I had to pee, and I'm really big on intermittent fasting, and I swing in and out, and like I recently just got back into it, but it's like I drink a ton of water like all morning. I try to have my first meal around like. Maybe noon, but like at least like 2 is when I try to have like my first meal. Like, do you do anything like that?
Yeah, I do from 1 to 9.
Okay,
so I do from like 1 to 9. Or I might do from like 1 p.m. like 8 p.m. Yeah, and then that's what I usually do. Like those are my hours usually. Yeah, that really does help with weight cutting too. Yeah, intermittent fasting is like huge.
Oh yeah, for sure. Huge. Yeah, and I'm just unfortunately like, my metabolism is just a guy like you remember me like even in high school I was kind of a chubby guy, and I started to bulk back up again and I talked about this on another one of our podcasts. I hurt my back, so I'm in PT, not working out, and I hurt my back doing a deadlift. Oh. So yeah, I'm actually feeling a lot better now. But yeah, I am on like. Just a regimen of like just slow movements, walking on the treadmill, just strengthening core and stuff like that. Yeah.
What'd you do? You don't mind me asking?
Yeah. So, just doing a deadlift and, So like around like October-ish is like my time to do like the bulk, I'm out at summertime, shirts are staying on, hoodies are coming out. So like I like to start kind of packing it on. And it's also like my time to like stop doing as much like full body exercises, and I go back to like the bro splits. So that's also like, it's all the beer comes out, like I'm packing it on. So I was doing a deadlift, which I normally do. I can, warm up with like 185, and that's what I was doing. And I was usually do like probably like 3 or 4 sets of 12. And on my last set, on that 12th rep, I went to go put I put the bar down, and when I came back up, I could just feel on both sides, just like a burn, like a pressure burn in my back that like squeezed my spine. Like, as I came up, I was just like, like just like a crazy burn, and it just felt like a muscle thing. And like, so from that point, I just stopped, and I just stopped working out that muscle, and just worked around it, kept working out. And then, 2 weeks had gone by, and I kind of had felt like the same. And I got to that point where like I was like trying to put my pants on, or like socks was hard, it was just like hurting my back. So then I took it like another, like a step further, and I started doing my own research into like back injuries and stuff, like what I could do, and like little exercises, stretches, and then just eventually stopped working out altogether. And then that 1 week of not working out at all and just cooling out, no alcohol, like no inflammation, that was the best. And then after that, I was going back to work, or I was out with like while I was going to work, I was still like tweaking it every now and again. And my coworker recommended going to a PT or like a chiropractor, and then they made my back worse. No fault to their own, because I was kind of better, and I was at the point where I could touch my toes again, just from not messing with it. And then they did like a deep tissue thing, and like a hip flexion. Yeah, so like I couldn't get off the table.
You couldn't.
Like the chiropractor was like sweating. They were like, "Oh shit!" Like we may, I'm like, they're like, "Yeah, just lay it on the floor for a while," And I was like, "Yeah," I was nervous. So, and like even trying to make it back home, I got like halfway home, I had to like stop and just get out. Like on my back, I could just no position I could keep my back. I could just, everything hurt. And yeah, so 2 weeks off of work. I think it was like 3 weeks probably was. Of just heat and cold, and I got a cold tub, and luckily it was cold outside, so I just filled up that tub full of water and like just doing ice baths, and that really helped. Just like heat back and forth, and then went to the doctor. They gave me a steroid for the inflammation, and then just taking ibuprofen ever since. But I'm at a new PT now. So the first one was a chiropractor. So like there's a huge difference between like chiropractics and then therapeutic physical therapy, and then. So like now I'm at like just a PT. So they don't do any like the like setting or like deep tissue stuff. Like they're just working the muscles around it and just trying to strengthen. So I think probably like 6 weeks in, or probably 5 weeks in. Okay. So yeah. So and I feel a lot better. I mean, I think I've come to terms with the fact that I'm not ever going to deadlift again. Okay. I think I'm always going to have that injury, and I'm happy that I didn't have like a herniated disc or like a bulging disc, because like those injuries happen a lot. And for the most part, both of those injuries, they don't have like a remedy.
Well, I mean, they've got like surgeries, but half the time you come out just as bad, if not worse, than you went in.
Yeah. So it's really just like working around it and strengthening it, and then just staying away from stressing it more than you have to. So
yeah, you're still kind of on light duty at work.
Yeah. And then luckily I'm back to work. But I'm kind of more of a point and shoot. Just kind of like letting people know.
Like the apprentices do the heavy lifting.
Yeah, the apprentices are kind of doing my heavy lifting. Right. Which is good for those guys, getting to like get their, exercise what they want to do. Get some reps in.
That's one way to look at it.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're getting experience that they wouldn't have normally got. I'd be taking the limelight from them, doing all the work myself.
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. So. Yeah, man, and so it's been eye-opening. It's been really scary, and like, there's a lot of things that I've learned from PT too. Like just stretching. So, and like I said, I'm running on like no time all the time. So when I go to work out, like I would do a lot of stretches, and I got to like, I would just do a stretch on YouTube. What's that? Bully Juice. I don't know if you know him. Like he does tons of YouTube videos, and I like a lot of his like stretching videos. You know, he's like a big guy, and you know, he's got like full body routines for like 10 minutes. So I'm like, cool, I'll just do these. And so like I always thought that I was good. And then I also always thought that like, you know, you're always kind of working out your core, and I would like try to do like full body exercises pretty routinely. So like I never like did like ab workouts. I never did like, you know, isolating like leg and like quadricep like movements, or even like long stretches like I'm doing now. You know, you might hold a stretch for like 30 seconds, you know. And like maybe it's like each leg 3 sets, and then, you know, just like I'm stretching for like 30 minutes, and that alone did a lot. And now like just doing planks and doing a lot of like leg raises where you're doing a plank and you're bringing your knees to like the back of your arm, and then that same knee you want to bring across to the back of this arm, you know, like those are really hard. And so just strengthening the core, strengthening the glute muscles, just like getting like my whole spine just strong again, and keeping that, because that's probably what happened, is that like I was just weak in those areas, and then went back to doing all of these like heavier deadlifts, and then I just had like a weak core, and like when I went to go pull it, I just did like one of these, you know, on like a microscopic scale, that was enough to like create an injury. You know, and just luckily for me, you know, it seems to be a muscular like issue, not like a spinal issue. You know, I didn't have any like numbness or like tingly fingers or legs or anything. So, yeah, but on the other side though, you know, I can happily say like today, you know, on the treadmill and doing all my like the little workouts that I do every day, and, you know, like I'm doing, you know, like upper body stuff just in a chair. Like I have a folding chair out there, and I just sit in the folding chair, because like that can kind of give me like the stability without like accidentally like tweaking something. So I'm able to like kind of do curls and like any variation, and, you know, like stuff like that. Right. Just kind of keeping the blood flowing, you know, trying to do something, you know, because I feel like I'm just getting fat.
Have a back injury?
No, never had a back injury, no.
Yeah, any injuries at all?
Well, your leg.
I mean, I fractured, well, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
But I've like fractured my ankle.
Okay.
Like when I was running track before, I used to run track a lot. Yeah. I fractured my ankle, but I was out for, I want to say maybe like 2 months or something.
Yeah.
When I was running track, I think I was like in 8th grade when it happened or something like that.
Broken bones suck.
It was like, I was like, yo, there's something wrong with my ankle.
Yeah.
Like that was probably like one of like the big. I was like, yo, like, I still got the crutches for it.
No way.
Like, I still have them. Yeah, man. I was like, dang.
Yeah. What was the protocol for that? I mean, just stay off it.
Basically.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have to go to school. I was cool. I think I was playing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Something like that on the PlayStation 1. Yeah, something like that. I was playing Def Jam Fight for New York. I was playing something.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's
I think
cool.
Let's Get Ready to Rumble. It's one of them games.
Yeah.
But yeah. I was balling out. I didn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I can bridge the gap between both of you. I've messed up my back and broken bones.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never broken a bone.
Oh, yeah. It's not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I crashed my motorcycle and broke my collarbone.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. That was right before So Keith had been reaching out to me for the better part of like a year.
Yeah.
About trying to come to the company that we both work for now. You know, get me out of the automotive and into where we're at now. And finally, you know, well, it wasn't all me. It was also, you know, the hiring process just took forever.
Yeah.
But finally, like, okay, you're going to start on this date. Cool. I took a week. You know, I'm quitting my old job here, take a week off, start the new job. Just have a week to myself to just decompress and, you know, get ready for jumping into an entirely new career. And on the Friday of that week, I went out on my bike with a couple of friends. We just went down this road that we'd been down before, but we were riding kind of in formation. So, you know, left, right, left. And I hadn't been on the right side of that road. We crest a hill, and there used to be potholes there, but PennDOT had repaired it, and it was just a washboard of a road, and it just knocked the front wheel right out from under my bike, and I went down. Luckily the bike didn't land on me, but it slid. I slid along. I got, you know, a little bit of road rash, but at first I didn't think anything was wrong. I got right up, and first thing in my mind is just like, well, that sucked. And so I get up and I'm like, okay, I'm standing, I'm alive, nothing hurts too bad yet. I should probably get my bike out of the road. Yeah. So I go to try to pick it up, and what I felt was it felt like someone had grabbed. I was wearing a backpack. It felt like someone just grabbed my backpack strap and pulled down. And I'm like, well, that didn't feel right.
Yeah, it was just
something's
gross.
off there. I'll deal with that later. So
I'll deal with that later.
So I got out of the road, got to like the guardrail on the side, and just kind of sat down on it. Took my helmet off, took my backpack off, and I'm like, man, that sucked. My one friend who was behind me had pulled over. My one friend who was in front of me didn't realize that we weren't behind him anymore at first. He did come back like a couple minutes later, like, I thought you went off the road. I thought I lost you like completely. I'm like, no, but I did lay the bike down.
Yeah.
But then some lady pulls over. She's like, oh, I'm an off-duty EMT. Like, are you okay? Do you want me to call an ambulance? And I had just quit my job. So I'm like, I don't know if I can afford an ambulance or to go to the hospital. If I'm okay, like, if I got a bit of road rash, I'll deal with that myself. And then I remembered trying to pick up my bike and something feeling wrong. And I'm like, oh, that's not where that should be. I should call that ambulance.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then, they popped me in the ambulance and took me off to the hospital. And I think out of, like, my health insurance turned out, thank God, was good till the end of the month. But out of pocket, between the ambulance cost and, like, the deductible and all that, I think I had to pay, like, $6-7 grand. So that sucked.
Yeah.
That is crazy, man.
But, I walked away from it, so can't be too upset about that.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. Yeah, not to mention that he was also out of work.
That's the other thing. It delayed me starting work for 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like,
wow.
I call our boss,
huge.
and I'm like, hey, I know I'm supposed to start Monday, but I just crashed my motorcycle and broke my collarbone, so I might be out for a couple months.
Yeah. So we're all excited to take him on, and then he's like, oh, yeah, it'll be 3 months.
Darn.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, and speaking of that, like, how, do you, like, manage your own, like, health insurance, or you just have to,
So, we're insured through them, basically.
Oh, okay,
like,
cool.
Like,
that makes sense.
So if something goes wrong, it's almost like, I believe the UFC have the same exact thing.
Right.
So, like, if something goes wrong, like, in the fight, or, like, let's say, like, if you
fell off a motorcycle.
Like you like you slipped on a banana or something, and you like hurt your elbow or whatever.
Yeah.
Then basically, like, you would, like, the doctor comes in, like, you have to see the doctor every single time.
Yeah.
You go up to the doctor, you see the doctor, like, yo, what's going on? Are you okay? Whatever. You see the doctor comes over. If you feel like something's wrong, whatever it is, or your elbow's upset, whatever, you let them know, and then they basically, like, write you like a script. So they can either take you to the hospital right after the fight, or you can, like, you'll have, like, X amount of time to go back to wherever you live or wherever you want to. You'll give that script, and then you can see whatever doctor you want to, and then it's covered by them, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, like, that's how, like, that would work. But you'd have to obviously fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what I was worried about. I was like, man, what happens to you?
That's a hell of a
worst case scenario
without insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, that's basically, like, how it is, though. But most guys, I've seen some crazy stuff, man. I've seen some, I've seen this one, it was this one girl, and, she was in the back, and I was walking by, and she was, like, hunched over, like, on the wall, and she was just, like, screaming and crying. She was like, I can't see out of my eyes. Whoa. My eyes, like, you know, like the SpongeBob, like, ow, my leg,
my eyes,
yeah, like, it was like, my eyes, I can't see out of my eyes. I was like, oh shoot, like, yo, like, is she all right? Like, I didn't even know who she was, but I started feeling, like, upset, like, are you okay?
Yeah.
And she just was like, I can't see, and, like, the doctors that came over, and it was like, oh my gosh, like, get her up. And she was just, like, hysterical. And I was like, yo. But she ended up being okay, though. Like, she's still fighting and everything. She's fine. Yeah. But at that moment, it was crazy.
That's got to be terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I seen some crazy stuff, man. I seen some people, like, get stitched up, and I seen some eyes look kind of crazy, some scars. I seen some crazy stuff. But
I wonder if she just lost her vision for a little bit, like maybe like a knockout, maybe.
She did get knocked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did get knocked out.
That'll scramble you.
I've been hit, like, one time where it was, like, in my eye, and I couldn't see for, like, 3 seconds, 3 or 4 seconds. I mean, I didn't panic. I kept it open. I didn't want the guy to know, like, I can't see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But otherwise than that, like, it was nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Yeah,
there's little moments where you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I was like, oh, shoot. I was like, well, I guess we in a fight. This is what I expect.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow, man.
I mean, every time you step into that cage, there's risk.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's always the unknown. Like like when people like they have like a job and they leave, and it's like like here's an opportunity. Like it's like you might be like living like in a new area. You don't know anybody. It's always like that, like that unknown every single time. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you get in there, you never know what's gonna happen. You never know. Like, all you can do is just prepare your best, but you never know what's gonna happen. You never know. Yeah,
and like you were saying, like even preparing, like, that's hard too. You watch as much tape as you want, but you might be, like you said, there's a new fighter every time. You might be preparing for the wrong fighter. It's the same fighter, but like he might be a different fighter when he steps in to fight you.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like, what do you do?
People fight people differently.
Just being well rounded, best you can do. It's like you said, staying in shape. Like just keeping on the path. It's crazy.
Yeah, you have like last minute calls, last notice calls. People might, your guy might back out. Then, we found somebody a month later, or 3 months later, or 2 weeks later. Now you're gonna fight the guy. You don't want to back out. You didn't train this whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you gotta, take the fight.
Yeah.
You should be thanking the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then to your point, like that's the main reason to never take a day off, right? You just stay in shape, like keep the pizza days far and few between.
Like you said, if you're always ready, you don't got to get ready.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Yeah, and I've said that a million times, just about like just being in shape as like a person, not as a fighter, but like just as a person. It's like it's easier to like stay in shape than it is to get out of shape, which is why I'm depressed that I'm like I haven't been able to work out. It just sucks, But yeah, what is the longest like turnaround time you've had for like not getting a fight? So you had a fight cancel.
Maybe like a year.
Wow. So you went like a whole year without a fight?
Yeah, that's not
long.
Bad. No,
okay.
That's not long.
Okay.
Like you have like some champions like Jose Aldo, like he wasn't fighting. Like he was fighting maybe like once a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a year is not bad. Like I feel like people think like being out for a year is like a long time for like fighting, but it's really not.
Yeah.
Like active, like very active for like a fighter, like a year is like 4 fights a year.
Yeah.
That's very active. Like you fight 4 times a year, like, okay, this guy's active. We like this guy.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. 3 times, that's good.
Yeah.
3 times a year is good.
Yeah.
2 times, that's not bad.
Yeah.
You fight twice a year. It's like you can do more. Like it's not impressive.
Yeah.
But, it's okay. 3 times is like, okay.
Yeah.
4 is active. You start talking 4 and more, yeah.
And none come to my brain particularly, but I've always heard that like those guys that are doing like 3 fights a year, or even like you said 4 fights a year, a lot of the times that catches up to them. Sometimes it doesn't, but like a lot of times it does. Like that consistency of like never giving your body a break, and then in the same coin, you're doing like 1 fight a year. Like you don't really have that same. Like you don't like have that same feeling of what those like the lights look like, and like that pressure feels like, and then staying in shape because you can get back into shape. There's got to be moments where like those guys in a year fall out, because they know they're not taking a fight. It's like it's got to be hard,
Yeah, a lot of them dudes like. First of all, fighting is year round. Like that's what I always tell people. Like you never know when you're gonna get that call. Mm-hmm. Like there's been plenty of times like where like that's what happened when I fought Gunner. Like I wasn't supposed to fight that dude. I was supposed to fight another guy, and then his guy backed out, and then my guy backed out, and then everybody else they told me no, and they told him no, and I was ready. And something happened, and I just kept training, and then we both have fought each other, and that's basically what had happened. Because we wasn't even like each other's original opponent. Mm-hmm. But we both stayed ready, and we both was ready, like to fight, and like they matched us both up. They felt that I was, they was like, well, who's the other guy? And they was like, well, let's call Isaac up, and then that's what they did. Yeah. And but fighting is year round, so there is no like, oh, I didn't know because. Or I didn't win this fight because I wasn't in camp. Like fighting is year round. You never know when they're gonna give you that call. Mm-hmm. You never know when they're like, "Hey, look, such and such slipped on a banana." Like you ready? You know what I mean? And they're like, "Oh, well, I'm not ready." Okay, cool. They hang up the phone. They call the next guy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then you're home watching him make money.
Yeah. And there's always somebody waiting.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Always somebody ready to take your spot. Mm-hmm. Somebody's always ready to take your spot. You know, and. When they give you that call, you just gotta make sure you're ready. And every time they give me a call, I'm always ready. Yeah. Every time they gave me a call, I was always there. I answered every single call when they call me. So when they go and they need something and they need to call somebody, the first person that they call is me. Yeah. you know. And some people, like, they don't like it. Oh, why does he feel like, you know what I mean? I say, well, that's why I'm on the cover, because I always answer the call. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I'm there, because I answer the call. I take the fights that they want me to take, whatever it is, whoever it is, you know. I make the matchmaker's job easy. You know, they call me up like, yo, can you fight this dude? Sure, when, today or tomorrow? And they're like, okay, cool, we like that, we like that. Some people are like, you know, like, they're like, oh, well, I need to have this, or I would like to make this much, and can you put me in this hotel? And, you know, I want to be able, can I get like free tickets? And don't worry about it. I'll take care of everything. You know, I don't want no free tickets. I don't need anything for it. You know, I'll earn and I work for whatever it is I got. You know, I'll pay for the tickets or whatever it is, you know, the money that I make. I don't need that. You know, I'm ready. And, you know, that's what it was. And, you know, I've always been, and that's how it is. But a lot of them guys, they make the matchmakers' jobs harder. Like, I want this guy, he has to be 5 foot tall, 162 pounds, and he's not allowed to rehydrate 10 pounds over. And, you know, I don't want him to eat this, and he can't have that. They're like, we're not dealing with these stipulations. Next. They don't want to deal with that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I would imagine like they would, like, if you give somebody like that much trouble every time, they'll just know. They're like, all right, if we call this guy, he's gonna want all this extra stuff.
Yeah, you have you have to be ready. And you also have to be confident. You know what I mean? You have to be confident. You can't go in there, like, if you go in there saying like, oh, this guy's gonna beat me, you might as well not even show up. I see why you're not answering the phone call. You know what I mean? But if you like, you know, like, it is a sport and it's competitive. Like, you know, you can't go in there saying that this guy is going to win, you know, like going with your head down and I really don't want to do this. You might as well not even show up, man. You know what I mean? You might as well not even show up.
You can't have that kind of attitude in a sport like that.
No, you can't do that. Like, you know, respect him, but don't go in there like, I can't, it's over, and he had this, and he had so much more time to prepare, and not me. I hear it all the time.
What's the shortest notice you've ever taken?
I want to say maybe like a month and a half or so.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And like sometimes it can take guys maybe like a month or so to like to cut weight. Or like it might take them maybe like 2 or 3 weeks, and everybody's different, you know what I mean? But like just to be able to get in shape, it might take the average fighter, like if he's like, you know, staying in shape in between fights, maybe like 3 months to like really like be like in tip top shape or so, depending on who you are. Everybody's different. But, you know, I feel like that's like a good like time frame to be like fight ready. You know, so I did that in about like less than half of the time. I did that and it was fine. I felt fine. I wanted to fight.
I mean, you know, you were saying you stay in shape, you stay ready.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so it's easy.
Yeah. Now I do put on some pounds now with the pizza. I do that. I do eat pizza. That's one way to my heart is some pizza. You want to get me out somewhere? Yo, man, I got some pizza. Okay. Yeah, we talking my lingo. Okay. I like that.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm interested in the diet, just because like I kind of don't really have much of a diet, really. Like, I mean, I like to eat clean, you know, like homemade kind of stuff, but like I don't like really restrict myself unless, like, until lately, you know, when I'm not working out, it's kind of like my excuse to kind of eat almost whatever I want. I just don't like anything processed. So, you know, like, what's like a normal meal for you?
I usually always bake my salmon, so I would have like baked salmon with like raw spinach. So I would just like rinse the spinach off, like have like raw spinach, scrambled eggs, and like some potatoes. That's like my go-to. Like that's my thing.
Okay.
That is like my thing. Like some water with like lemon, lime, mint, cucumbers. So drink that in. Yeah. And I'll have like apple cider vinegar in there. Like that helps. Like, you know, like you not being like as bloated and everything like that. But yeah, definitely like salmon, like shrimp. Like shrimp and like a little bit of rice, you know, like it's them carbs that get me, man. Like I can scarf some rice down. But yeah, like some shrimp, a little bit of rice, but like the proteins basically, you know what I mean? I know people are like heavy on the proteins and everything, but I'm a pescatarian and I'm still like pretty like bigger, like I would say like than I should be. You know what I mean? To be
now, is that just like an ethical choice or like a dietary choice to be pescatarian?
A little bit like a both. So I wanted to learn how to like cut weight like a lot more like easier. And then so one day I was eating like some homemade tacos, right, with Doritos. I'm not sure if you all know about the Doritos with the tacos, right?
No.
So
man,
what you never
Taco
had?
Bell's Doritos Locos taco, but
there we go. Something there we go. Yeah, something similar like that. You know what I mean? But it was homemade. You know, I had like my like, you know, my pan and everything. You know? So I had that everything. You know, like all good to go. Had you know, the lettuce, tomatoes, sour cream, all the good stuff. You know, back when I used to eat meat. Yeah. So, and the crazy part, I was actually watching a podcast. I think I was watching like a Joe Rogan podcast. He wasn't even talking nothing about meat.
Yeah.
I think he was talking about like fighting or something. So when I was eating it, I like looked down. I mean, I looked at it and I thought to myself, and I was like, yo, like, I said, this is like this is nothing but flesh. I was like, I literally just went to the store and bought flesh from an animal, and I cooked it, burning like it's flesh that's burning like on my stove. And I was like, I'm really sitting here eating this. I was like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, like, why do I need meat? You know what I mean? I'm only eating it because I grew up eating it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, eat this hamburgers and hot dogs and stuff like that. But I was only eating it because like that's what I came up eating.
Right.
You know, but I was like, I really don't need. Yeah, I was like, I really don't need to eat beef, pork, chicken, or turkey. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like if they say like I don't have to eat like, you know, like crab or shrimp for like the rest of my life, I'll be fine. Like I could be like a vegetarian and be perfectly fine, or be like a vegan and be perfectly fine, you know. And I was like, yo, like this is kind of crazy. Like I'm just, you know, like what's the difference for me like cutting my dog up or like cutting up a cat and me just throwing it on the grill, you know, like and sauteing my cat or something. You know what I mean? Because I know like in like other places, like, you know, like they like worship the cow and like they don't eat cows and stuff. But like here, like we don't eat dogs and cats. And other spots like they eat dogs and cats, so it's normal to them, but it's weird to us.
Yeah, or like
weird to us.
It's all kind of arbitrary where we draw the line.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm like, what's the difference? And I was like, oh yeah, I can't be doing this. I'm good.
Yeah.
So I was just like, yeah, it's not for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Like, I mean, I know exactly what you're saying, and like I've certainly had that moment where I thought the same thing. But it is like so funny where like we don't feel the same way about fish. Like for some reason we're all like
crazy.
Like nobody cares.
Like nobody cares about the fish. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
like
the fish didn't ask to be fried.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, and you know, like there's like tons of argument with that, but yeah, even just like social media wise, as far as like the social climate goes, as far as like if you have like a bear that you've killed or like a deer that you've killed and like you're sitting in front of it and take a picture, post it on social media.
Some people hate that stuff.
Oh my God, they're gonna rake you through the coals.
Yeah.
Right? And then but then like if you caught like a giant tuna, you know, like off the coast of Florida, they're like, wow, congratulations.
Like,
that must have been so hard.
Tuna. Like,
yeah,
wait.
That's great. Like we can't wait to see you cook it. You know, like we can't wait to see what you turn it into. And they're like, yeah. And then like, and people will just be like, oh yeah, no, we just threw it away. Like, it was, you know, whatever. Like it was just a trophy fish. We don't actually eat this. It's not really that good. And then they're like, oh, okay, whatever. But it's like, if you did that with a bear, they would be like, what? You just killed it and you just threw it away? Like,
yeah, man.
You know, yeah. Like, what's the name of that lion that guy, like in like early 2000s, there was like some lion this guy shot. Like he was a really, really rich guy who chartered this like whole hunt in Africa to kill this lion that like people actually like knew in the town, you know, but like it was a legal hunt, I believe, but like it was like kind of like a very important lion to that community. But like this rich guy just came in and killed it.
Yeah, it's legal, but it was still kind of a dick move.
Totally a dick move, and like especially because you're not going to eat it. It was literally just a trophy thing. Like you can't eat. I mean,
trophy hunting in Africa is already like a contentious. And
it's terrible.
Messed up.
Yeah, so like it was one of those things where like like they were so mad at that guy, and even the hunting community was kind of mad at that guy. Like even like I would say like at least 90%. Whereas like there's always someone who's like, nah, that was cool.
Yeah, you can have
yeah. But I mean, for the most part, it's like that's kind of a dick move. Like let that lion be. You know. You know?
So how would you feel then about like the lab grown meat that they've been working on that they got coming? Technically, that was never an animal.
Is it like this lab grown meat?
Yeah. Have you heard of that? Like the test tube? Like
I've heard of that. Yeah. Well, I'll put it to you like this: like I don't even eat like that. What's that called? Like the bouillon burger or the mega burger?
Oh, the Impossible.
Yeah, I don't even eat that. Like I don't even eat that stuff. Yeah. Like how are you making that? Like I feel like if you're like
it's processed heavy. It's just processed.
Like it's all plant.
Yeah.
Like if you
stuff.
Right. If you really need to have something that looks and tastes like a burger, just go eat a burger.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, you really need it to look like it, taste like it. Just go eat the burger. Like I'm not. Yeah. Just go eat the burger. You know, but I'm perfectly fine with not eating fish or crab for like the rest of my life.
Unfortunately, I am definitely a carnivore. I don't think I could give it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the way I see it is like it's closer to like The Lion King, like the movie.
No, the circle of life.
It's the circle of life.
Yeah.
You know, and I also like I'm very aware. Like I'm like just became a hunter as well. Like I'm very aware of now like the conservation efforts as well. So like there's limits to what you can hunt. There's limitations to where you can hunt, and they do all of those things just to make sure that like the population's tamed. You know, so like too much is bad because if there's too many deer or whatever animal that it is that you're hunting, now it's overpopulated, and because of that, there's not enough food in those areas for them. So you get just animals starving, or you get animals that like veer into the streets or into the neighborhoods because they're just desperate for food. And so like that's bad for the animals too, and it's terrible for the ecosystem because now there's so many deer that they've eaten up all the vegetation, anything that's like supposed to just be growing, right? You know, where like, you know, normally a deer would just kind of graze through, but now you have like 100 times the deer in that same area.
Yeah, you have
they've
actually like
decimated the population of vegetation.
Far-reaching like ecosystem consequences where like you get groundwater erosion because the plants aren't there, the roots don't hold the soil in place, so rain and rivers will just eat away at the ground, wash away. Like it goes beyond just, oh, well, there's more deer.
Yeah, exactly. So like the whole like conservation effort is this like great thing. And then, you know, because hunting gets a bad rap where people are like, they're just out there killing, you know, like that lion guy, you know, like they're just out there just killing stuff just to kill it, you know. But the reality is like the majority of the hunters out there like understand the conservation of it, and that like it's actually helping the ecosystem, which I thought was really beautiful. And like it's like a huge part, and like how important, you know, taking an animal's life is, and like being able to use everything from it, you know, just kind of goes into like that whole circle of life thing, you know, and like they explain that on Lion King too. So like, and then so like the same thing with fish. Like I don't like understand it with the fish, and they just like no one cares about fish, but we care about like the other animals. So I'm
or the crab.
Yeah, or the crab,
or the shrimp. Yeah. They don't care about nothing.
Yeah, dude, and we just bag them all up in nets and pots and stuff, and
they get cooked alive.
Yeah, and they get cooked alive.
Lobsters.
Yeah,
crab.
Lobsters and
you
stuff.
You actually can't cook them dead. Like,
yeah.
It's crazy,
so
right?
yeah, it's wild.
Don't they like scream like when you like put them like in the water? Or
something? Yeah, they're like. Yeah, so like terrible. I mean, so when I see people like drawing the line there, I'm like, what is this? There's no, if there's not validity on this side, but there is on that side. It's like, okay, maybe the conversation like is bullshit. You know, a little. That's like how I look at it. So like, I feel ethical about doing it, and that I just make sure I don't waste. I like doing that.
That's
not
why
wasting.
I would never get into hunting.
Yeah,
I have no use for it, so it would be wasteful for me to go out and hunt.
What do you hunt?
I hunt deer.
Okay.
Yeah, deer, and then I would also go turkey hunting, but that's very difficult, and I'd probably be wasting my time. I'm gonna get a bit better at deer hunting, and then you know as I go, like, but it's the same thing. Like, there's a lot of people who like, and again, like no, you know, nothing to those people, but like there's a lot of people who do like bird hunting, and then you don't really eat those birds, and then because there's just not good eating, or they don't really like it, and they just want to like have it as like a trophy, and like I don't want to do that. Like if I'm gonna like shoot something and kill it, I want to use everything that I can possibly from it, you know, and then also making sure that you know, it's a gross process, but you should also gut the animals when you're out there in where you killed it, because all of that stuff is like food for the rest of the ecosystem. I mean, all kinds of things will feed off of it, you know, other animals to insects, you know. So I mean, that's like, you know, circle of life.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Not for me.
yeah. I mean, it can definitely, it's gross, and also, dude, like not everybody can hunt, you know. So I mean, it's not something like everybody can just do, and everybody should do.
The only hunting that I would actually want to participate in is like feral hog hunting, because that's just a population that's completely out of control.
Yeah,
isn't native to the environment, needs to be culled.
Yeah,
and I don't know. I don't feel any guilt over that.
Yeah. You know anything about that? Like in Texas, they have
South Carolina, Texas.
There's a lot of like warm places where like pigs, when they breed, they can breed like all year long, and it's warm all the time, so they're just hot and ready to go all the time. Yeah. So they have a real issue with feral hogs and like pigs. I don't know if you know, like if you just took a baby pig like from a farm and then just let it go in the wild, it would grow horns and like a tusk, and they would get all hairy and gross looking.
True?
That is true. Yes, it is true. Any pig will turn into a boar.
It's just not over like a couple generations.
Nope. It's any pig. Any pig will just naturally, if it's a baby, and you put it out there, because that's what these wild boar are.
Yeah, they're just domestic pigs.
Yeah. I know that much. They just turn into that. Yeah. So that's what happened in Texas. Now, like, again, because they can just breed all the time, and there's nothing out there to kill those, then they just go wild, and like no one can manage it. So like it's like you can hunt those year round, and like people just by the hundreds just cut them down, because the same thing, like they're messing up the ecosystem because there's so many of them. They're just killing all of the agriculture and like wherever they are, and they'll move far. They'll just keep going and going and going and just eating anything and everything in its sight. And they're mean.
So I'm guessing like they're not worth as much like, as like a deer, right?
No. And also like they're not as good eating. I mean, like, a lot of people like will eat them, and you know,
it's not the same as like a farm raised pig. Yeah, they're bred and raised specifically to produce the meat that they do. Once they're out in the wild, and they kind of revert back to nature.
Yeah. Right.
It's not as
anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it's you know. So like, sometimes it's like a necessary part, you know, and then, you know, but then there's like the factory farming that we're doing now, and like the way that like they're raising these animals, and antibiotics and probiotics, and we're not probiotics, whatever, but like all this, the hormones and stuff that they pump into the animals, and then even the vegetables, dude, you know, I mean, the like essentially Roundup that they use on a lot of the vegetables today, to just the pesticides,
right?
You know, all that stuff's bad for you, glyphosate and all that. It's crazy. So like, not everybody can hunt, but I would say everybody can start a garden, which is like, it's on my to-do list, you know. I don't
Definitely.
know about you.
I've seen that. I've looked into like the whole garden thing.
You can start small.
So what's up with that one article saying that the carbon footprint of growing your own food is worse than conventional farming?
Yeah, you want to pull that up?
They said
that's
what?
Funny.
Yeah, that sounds like propaganda BS to me.
Like they're trying to tell you to not do that?
Yeah.
Because,
trying to keep people in the machine.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Yeah, and then there's another thing. There's tons of studies that they do on like vegetation, like vegetables and plants and stuff like that. You know, you've always heard like, you know, plants can listen to music, and like they'll change to music. You know what I mean?
That,
yeah. So like, but the studies have gone even further, where there's certain plants that, like, if you were to clip the plants on the like a part of the plant, that the other plants that are like down the line in the same soil will divert like the nutrients that they're taking in from the soil to the other plants. And then there's other plants where like the sound of these caterpillar teeth that like starts crunching leaves around it, they'll just start producing this enzyme that makes the plant like themselves taste bad, so that the caterpillars won't eat them. Like,
wow,
like the plants are doing that themselves.
That's crazy.
So like, to say that like these plants like don't have a consciousness or like
they did
a soul, you know what I mean? Is that like we're eating salads?
People be like clowning the plants, and they was like,
I don't know.
They said, "Oh, how does the plant feel? You know, the grass can feel that."
Yeah.
They said, so the grass feels every time you step on it.
Right.
I feel like, wait, what?
Well, they also say like the smell of that fresh cut grass is another like reaction to like being cut, and that like it's what it really is like, and I don't know, I don't actually know how true this is, but I have heard someone say that like the grass being cut is like a signal to the other grass that hasn't been cut yet. Is like, it's like,
but what's the grass gonna do?
What can the grass? Yeah, like what can the grass?
I mean, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I haven't. I mean, it's probably not a foolproof plan for the grass.
He said, well, what can you do?
Yeah,
grass
but there's a lot of studies that go into like, you know, that like these vegetables and like,
so plants have feelings, basically.
That they have feelings.
That's what they were saying.
Yeah.
The plants have
maybe
feelings.
on like some base level, but I don't think you could sit here and argue with me that plants are sentient.
Well, I mean, yeah, they don't send emails and stuff, but like,
no, that's sapient. There's a difference.
Yeah,
sapient is thinking, sentient is like just existing, feeling, having like consciousness. I think, you know,
but I mean,
plants might be able to feel sensation, but I don't think they have anything resembling a mind to interpret it.
Well, I'm not saying that like no one should stop eating vegetables and stuff for sure, but what I'm saying is there's a good argument that it's like technically just as bad.
Hey man, you like fruits? You're killing the plant's babies and eating its food source.
Could be.
Yeah,
could be.
This just reads like, I guess they're trying to say that like the effort and the machinery and the supplies used to go into urban farming as opposed to conventional farming generates more greenhouse gas. But I still like, does that take into account like transport of like all the crap? Like if all of our corn's grown in like Iowa or something,
right?
Versus growing it in your backyard, or if you're in the city growing it in a community garden.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that like the inefficiencies of like people just growing their own food generates more carbon than the trucking industry necessary to get the corn from Iowa to the rest of the country?
Yeah.
I have a hard time
what processes
that.
all those machines? I mean, there's machines that just pull the corn out.
That's true.
Yeah. Or the machines that all run inside like the factories that push it out, and all the conveyor belts, and like what makes those machines, as opposed to
the research identified 3 best practices crucial to making low-tech urban agriculture more carbon competitive. How is using like a rake and a hoe and a hand, like a trowel?
Hey, it turns out using less stuff makes more carbon.
How does that make more carbon than a John Deere?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like a combine harvester running through a 1,000-acre field.
Yeah, it doesn't check out. Oh, though this reminds me too. So Bill Gates just came out saying that peanut M&Ms specifically, are healthier to eat than meat.
I'll buy that and start eating M&Ms.
Yeah, peanut M&Ms.
That's what he said.
That's what he says. That's Bill Gates.
No. Well, yeah,
Bill Gates. That? Bill Gates is.
I think that he's full of shit.
Now he is a renowned nutritionist.
Yeah.
He's a renowned nutritionist known the world over for his education in,
Yeah, I don't really know what the ploy is on that, because the last I heard that he bought up a lot of farmland. Like, he might be one of the larger owners of farmland in the United States.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That man can do whatever he wants.
You got that kind of money.
Yeah, that man can do whatever he wants.
Yeah. But then to come out and say, like, hey, meat's not good. I mean, maybe he's growing vegetables out there. And he's like, don't eat vegetables, or just eat vegetables.
The vegetable market.
Yeah, pull that up, because I just saw the headline of that article. I'm so bad at that. I just like put it down on my phone, and I was like trying to remember.
130.3 billion.
Oh no, not the farmland. I don't really care.
What do you even do with all that money? Like,
I meant the M&Ms.
Oh, the M&Ms.
Yeah, the M&Ms is way more interesting than him buying stuff. It's just gonna make me feel bad about how much money I make.
He said, "Well, I bought." He said, "Okay, we know what you bought." Like,
yeah.
There's nothing we can do about it. Like, okay, you bought it.
Healthier than beef and pork.
Yeah.
Bill Gates funded study. So he didn't say it himself.
Just funded a study, and that's what they came up with?
Crazy.
I just don't see how, like, peanut M&Ms have anything to bring to the table.
Nothing.
Well, because got, red dye number 40.
Yeah, that's
good for people.
I thought it was 37.
Yeah. Yeah, but some of that stuff is now illegal in, like, other countries.
Yeah, like Skittles.
Yeah.
I think, like Skittles,
I just heard Ritz crackers.
I believe so.
Yeah, they have like so much preservatives in them, like that those preservatives fell off the list of like what's legally allowed to be sold in European countries.
I know Mountain Dew is.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Mountain Dew, Skittles.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, what does a peanut M&M have to bring to the table, especially as opposed to just like a roasted peanut? Right, because I feel like the healthy part of a peanut M&M is.
I don't think he's saying that peanut M&Ms are healthier than nuts, but they are healthier on his scale here than beef and pork.
I see.
Yeah, it looks like it's about on par with Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But chicken with the skin on is healthier than peanut M&Ms.
Does it say what his scale is all about? Because I'm curious.
Yeah, so where is it? Right here. More than 8,000 different foods and beverages to create a food compass that rates each food on 9 nutritional values and gives each one a score on a scale of 1 to 100. That includes nutrient ratios, unsaturated and saturated fats, fiber, carbohydrates, potassium, sodium, vitamins, minerals, the ingredients, additives, and processing, specific lipids, fiber, and protein. So they're taking into account all of this stuff. And on their scale from 0 to 100, 0 to 30 would be unhealthy. You should only consume in like limited consumption amounts. 31 to 69 is consume in moderation, and 70 to 100 is eat as much as you want.
All right, let's show me 100.
So up
oh
near
my
the top,
God,
Cocoa Puffs is 64.
Bro,
healthy. Oh,
so whoever's starting their day
good.
off with Cocoa Puffs.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So chicken breast is lower than Cocoa Puffs.
That invalidates this entire thing for me.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
There's no like real reason to even keep looking at. That's crazy.
Peanut M&Ms.
Squirrel?
Yeah. Squirrel. Squirrel. Well, thank God squirrel beat
cooked
Fritos. Yeah, cooked squirrel
right.
beat Fritos. So thank God.
Not raw, but cooked squirrel.
Pork and beef sausage is a 1. So according to the scale, like as bad as it gets, you can't do any worse than pork or beef sausage. Which I get it. Sausage isn't.
I get it.
Yeah.
But there are so many more things that I can imagine that are worse
than
sausage.
Oh my God! Yeah, that actually reminds me. I'm unfamiliar with the diet, it's like the restrictions that you're on, but like milk, butter, things like that. You can still do that?
I don't drink. I only drink almond milk or like oat milk.
Okay, and then like butter substitute kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like I forgot this one brand. I forgot what it's called. I've been using that like a lot more lately. But I've been buying that for like the past couple of years now. I totally forgot that one. It's like a vegan type of butter.
Okay.
Best butter I've ever had.
Yeah, well, shout them out, dude. Look up a vegan butter. Shout them out. Put them on the map.
Yo, I love that. I don't know. I forgot what it's called. I've been using it for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that butter.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always wonder about that because I mean, like doing
Any of those look familiar?
I know Earth Balance is. I've been using like Earth Balance sometime, but that looks the most familiar. Earth Balance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Natural buttery spread.
Sweet.
That one looks familiar the most.
6 best.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, dude, this diet's working. You know, I mean,
I'm doing something for you.
Yeah.
You know, and I think doesn't Nate Diaz do a similar diet?
I don't think they eat meat. If I'm not mistaken,
I think he's vegan and he like might eat fish.
I think
sometimes.
he's vegetarian or something like that.
Vegetarian.
Yeah, I think he's vegetarian or something.
Yeah, okay.
Vegan means you use no animal products.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, dude, very cool. Yeah, I know. Like when I eat carbs, like that's when I always feel the worst afterwards. But it's funny. Like I try to start cutting out some of that recently. Like I think it was like last summer, and I was like just doing like the chicken deal, you know, and like broccoli, and I kind of like went through this like period of where like I just like didn't have any energy. I would, like sometimes in the middle of the day I would get lightheaded, like I was just like crashing off of like no carbs, you know, because I've just had too many for too long.
Yes,
like my body was so used to it.
That is true.
Yeah, and like people who like have also done it, like were like people that I know, and I would just talk to them about it. They're like, yeah, like just slowly work like the rice back in, you know, and then wean yourself back off the rice. I think I just went too cold turkey, you know, with it. But.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough when you cut off carbs. Like, it's tough. It's definitely hard, especially for me.
Yeah.
Like when we're
take
cutting
a pizza
weight,
down.
I keep saying that word.
The bounce back sucks.
Yeah, I'm getting pizza on the way back. I know my coach is probably gonna see it because he was saying, "I'm gonna watch the pod." Never mind, I won't get pizza. I don't fight him in his mouth. Oh man, that's why you look where you are now because you got pizza. I don't fight him in his mouth.
Yeah,
but yeah, like so, like when we're cutting weight, most fighters they always cut out salt. Like salt is like. We just don't have salt because like that just like holds like the water inside your body when you're getting ready to cut the weight. So like when you're like I would say like when your salt intake is like something like kind of like crazy, like let's say like it could be something small, but like that spike would just mess your whole weight cut up. And like you can be like in the sauna, like but you just won't get that weight off like that. Like you won't get it off in time. So. Like your salt level has to be like extremely low.
See,
like,
it's absolutely fascinating hearing you guys talk about like all these drastic differences your diet make. Because I have no discipline when it comes to diet. I just eat whatever.
What's your favorite food?
Right,
like I seen that.
I mean, my favorite food would probably be this chicken adobo that my mom makes.
Okay.
Which is probably among the healthier of the things that I eat.
The healthier things.
Yeah, Adrian's half Filipino. Yeah. So his mom has like some cooking skills that come from
Filipino cuisine.
Yeah.
But
nice. Yeah.
It's carb heavy.
Yeah, that's right in my alley. He said carb heavy. Yeah, hey.
Everything's over rice or it's noodles like.
Yeah.
You sound like I need a dish.
Yeah, we're making you hungry, dude.
He's talking carbs. Oh yeah. What about you? What's your favorite food?
Favorite. I feel like
kind of a hard question.
It is tough to like to say like your favorite meal, but I would say like if I got to like just pick what I had to eat tonight, I would want like steak.
Okay.
Always like just steak.
A good steak is hard to beat.
Yeah, good steak is hard to beat, and then like a garlicky mashed potato, you know, and then like if you can like have like a perfect like broccoli's so good when it's like kind of pan seared, you know, a little like crusty burnt around it, and a little Parmesan. Oh, dude.
I mean, what did I have just
That's
a couple
so
days
good.
ago? It was like a blackened salmon with lemon butter and capers and garlic mashed potatoes.
Oh yeah,
I was in heaven.
Lemon butter?
That's good too. Yeah, and hooking it up like that. And like I am also like a huge fan of like the sweet hot, so like a sweet hot chicken. Like Holly like will bake this like it's like what I forget what the name of that hot sauce. It's like a famous hot sauce that there's like a sweet hot. Oh dude, it's so good. And it's just a little breaded, you know, and it'll come with like carrots.
I want to see what this I want to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
I might have thrown it on top of my
give me
salmon.
something more than just sweet hot sauce or sweet hot sauce.
Sweet hot.
You could
gotta give me something.
Yeah. So just look up. I would say, yeah, there you go. Sweet hot breaded chicken.
Breaded chicken.
Breaded.
Oh, breaded chicken. Burnt chicken.
Did you want to see the chicken or do you want to see the hot sauce?
I want to see like this hot sauce.
Oh, so I think the company. It might be Red Hot.
Just Frank's Red Hot.
Just straight
Frank's
Red
Hot.
Well,
Yeah,
Frank's
but
Red
I
Hot
think
sweet chili sauce.
Yeah, but you have like you make it. But there is a company that does a good hot honey. Just look up hot honey, because that's what it is. It's
Mike's
it's
Hot Honey?
and then yes, yeah, actually yes, it is. It's Mike's Hot Honey. Damn. Yeah, and then,
He said, "Oh wait,
yeah, you
$28.
Crack the code.
Oh, no, that's the $28 for both. Oh, combo pack. Okay.
Yeah, combo pack.
Hot and extra hot.
Yeah, no,
Hot
full,
and extra
full
hot.
yeah, full disclosure that like we buy the Wegmans brand, we buy the store brand, but yeah, that like sweet hot honey,
extra
good.
hot honey.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, super hot honey. Another one.
Yeah, those kind of things are always my favorite. But I feel like carb wise, tacos all day. Like any kind of Mexican food. If I had to like pick like one like food group to stay in, it would just be Mexican food. Just like
Soft
Mexican
shell?
anything.
Food's a whole food group?
Oh yeah, soft shell. Yeah, dude. I mean, it's like a whole ethnic food group because you can have tacos anywhere. But tacos from like an actual authentic
I'm just a big fan
Mexican
of like
restaurant, so good.
like the burrito form factor.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
very
I mean,
convenient.
burrito,
something
taco.
about it. I agree. Like,
Yeah.
There's this one place that I order from all the time for like breakfast. They have this breakfast
Is it
burrito.
McDonald's?
No, it's Market Street Grill.
Okay. Shout out.
But they have this thing called the Bruno burrito.
Yeah.
It's got eggs, hash brown. I always butcher the kind of like sausage gravy they have in it, but
Oh yeah, a Dewey.
yeah, that
Andouille or something like that.
something.
Yeah.
It looks like it's French or something. I don't know. But
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Good stuff though.
it's a huge burrito too.
Yeah.
If I eat that, I'm out of commission for a while. That's why I'm late to the podcast. Sometimes I've eaten one of those. And I just gotta sit.
Yeah.
they said that burrito really took a toll on me.
Yeah, maybe eat it and drive. You can just sit here. Yeah. So what's next for you? What's next on the agenda moving forward with the career?
Oh man, if I could pick a spot where I could fight at, I would definitely go to one championship.
Okay.
Yeah, it's across seas.
Yeah.
I would definitely go there.
Yeah.
Over the UFC if I could pick
Yeah.
that.
Is that
I would-
Japan?
Hmm?
Is that in Japan?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, in Asia. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I would definitely. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I would go to one, and then see UFC is like the most popular, but far as like the way they be paying some people, man, like
Yeah.
you know, like, I just be hearing some of the stuff like that, you know, like the UFC fighters like actually go through, man. It's like the UFC is basically like the NFL, like far as like the most popular, like you
Of
know,
course.
you know,
When it comes to like professional fighting, that's the
yeah,
organization
that's
to
like
be
the
in.
most people.
Yeah.
Like that's like the thing that most like
100%.
the average person would know. Like is
Yeah.
like the UFC. But when you start talking to people like that actually know and understand the sport, like they know like the like the one championship fighters. They know the PFL fighters. They know the Bellator fighters. Like you know like they're actual fans.
Mm-hmm.
But if I could pick, I want to go to one.
Yeah.
Yeah, one is like that seems like so much fun. Like I would definitely go to one, and then my second, I mean I guess UFC.
Mm-hmm.
I mean UFC is cool.
I mean,
I
you
guess
make it in UFC, like then you're at like the top as far as popularity and like what people see and people understand.
Like when you say like I'm a UFC fighter, people are like, oh okay, like people still talk
to
that
like, recognition. Like,
it's a common household name,
right? Like it's been around. Like people like it's basically monopoly. Like they'll buy out other companies and everything. Basically, So like people are like, oh, ain't you the guy that's like the UFC fighter? I said no, UFC is just an organization. Yeah, I'm an MMA fighter. Yeah, I do not fight for the UFC. Yeah. No. Yeah, and they're like, oh okay. Yeah, this guy does UFC. Like, no, I don't. That's no. So, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about bare knuckle?
Oh, I couldn't do bare knuckle. No.
I mean, what do you think about it as like an industry?
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Then people are wild.
Yeah.
Better than me. I couldn't do it.
I mean, to see them after the fights, I mean, because I wasn't sure. I was like, at first I thought like maybe they're not going to go as hard. Maybe you know, and I was wrong.
They hold back. No.
Yeah. So it's no holds bar, dude. Like they're going hard in the paint. It's crazy, and the women too. The women fights, like they're going just as hard. You know, there's those people in there are tough as nails, dude. It's wild to see, and I think there's a lot of people from the UFC over there now.
I think Mike Perry's over there. Eddie Alvarez.
He's doing well. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them guys are over there too.
Yeah. It's interesting. Yeah, it seems to be a tough gig, but I think they're paying pretty well too. But yeah, I would respect and agree with your decision to not do that, dude. Because that's
I'm not
rough.
doing that. No, I think PFL like PFL and Bellator, like I think like mean like your sponsors, like you make like a lot of money like from your sponsors, basically.
Oh yeah.
You know, like you make like a lot of money from them. So.
Nice.
I believe that's how most of the fighters, you know, they make their fights, you know, like in their money from them. At least that's what they tell me, the ones that I know of.
Yeah,
you know?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about power slap?
That's
another
just
wild
so
one,
disrespectful, like to the sport. Like it's not a sport.
Yeah.
Like it's like I remember I was watching it when this one guy, like the big, I don't know, like. I don't know if he was like Russian or like what he was, but that dude was massive.
Yeah.
And I remember like watching it like when he very first had like started, and like a video had popped up, and he was knocking dudes out left and right. I was like, yo, this and it's so sad because this guy is not on Power Slap. Like if he was on Power Slap, I would watch it because like that dude, he was like the John Jones. He was like this guy was doing it before there was the Power Slap. Like he was the pioneer.
I think it's been in like Europe for a while. I've like before Power Slap became a thing. I remember seeing it on YouTube. They had
that's what I'm saying. Like that dude, like I don't know what that dude's name was, but I seen him all the time. It seemed like it was big in Russia
and like Eastern Europe. They all have like Slavic names and they're just beefy, big arm, big hands.
Yo, yes, and that dude was putting people out. Yo, boom. I was like, oh shoot, this guy's gonna be on Power Slap. Like I really thought that guy was like gonna be like the face of it, and whatever happened, he just. I don't know what happened to the dude. Out. Like I don't know I don't know if that dude, if he was on Power Slap, I would have watched it.
Yeah,
100%. I would watch that guy because like he was like the first guy. He was around. Like he knocked some dude out, and I think like the last one, I think he got knocked out pretty bad. Like the dude like slapped him, and I was like, oh, of course he slapped him. But like he had like knocked him out, right? I was like, oh shoot! So they came up. They was like, get the pack. They had like the salt packet and everything.
Oh yeah, wake him up.
So he was like, it's a big dude. Dude looked like he was at least like I want to say like 317, and he was like.
Yeah,
he was all like kind of like crazy looking, like, and then they put it like in his nose almost.
Yeah,
and like I was like, yo, they put it like in his nose. So they was like, get another one. I was like, they got two. I've never seen somebody use 2 salt packets. And so he was like
smelling salts.
And then, and he was like. And he was still like, he was trying to come back. I was like, yo, this dude's
his nose is burning. Stop. You're killing his brain cells. He's working on his last
He was like, then he put it in his nose. They put it in his nose. He was like, he said to wake up. Yeah. And then he got back in there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, they got everything on the line. It's crazy, dude. I mean, and like, I agree with you. Like, I don't consider it a sport. I mean, like, and hopefully it's not disrespectful to those guys, but it is entertaining to watch.
I mean, I'd say
to watch a highlight reel.
It's not on the same level as like MMA, but it takes balls to get up there and just know you're gonna get slapped across the face
just
by
sit there and
with a hand bigger than your head.
And you gotta like hold your hands behind and like you gotta like show them your chin.
Yeah.
There's rules against like flinching and clubbing, and it's just,
like you can't go with the slap.
Yeah.
Like you can't. It's like club.
Yeah.
Free hit.
Yeah.
So that hit like that, he gets another hit. And he's like, yeah, I get another hit.
Yeah, because like I feel like those things are kind of like the old school duels, like right, like the old school like the 19 or 1800s when they would have like a duel, you'd be like shooting, and like it had to be like, okay, you take a shot, now I take a shot, and it was like whoever missed. It's like it's a race to see whoever knocks out who, or you know,
can we look up the guy like big dude like slaps the guy like that dude, yo.
Oh, man,
and he's not in Power Slap?
No, he's not in Power Slap. Like, you might recognize him. Like, he was around like that. Like, you might recognize him. I want to say, like, what is it? Like big dude slaps little guy or something. Yo.
Hang on, let's just... Professional slap fighting. I don't know. If we look up a championship, you think we'd find him?
I don't know. He was... Was he around before the belts got around?
That's championship.
Was it this guy?
Yeah, right here. This is whoever, not him. The other dude.
The guy who's fighting.
Will it pop up if you click on it?
Should.
Click the words at the bottom.
There we go.
Oh, nice. Not him. That dude. You never seen him before?
Oh, I have seen him.
Yes,
I have seen him.
That dude was a savage.
Yeah.
That dude, him, yo.
No flinch, no reaction.
Yo, this dude was putting people
out.
Yeah,
seen
just
this
a
clip.
just a heavy. Yo,
guy.
yeah, we've seen that guy get knocked out 1,000,000 times.
Yeah. Yes, him. That guy right there.
And
yo.
he's like, I'm up.
That slap returned him to factory settings.
Return to factory settings.
Like, literally did not react.
Yeah, I mean, hardly even moved his face.
He was around, I mean, starching people left and right, yo.
Yeah.
I mean, he was putting
Let's see
people
if we can find his name.
Like, that guy. Like, if he was still around, I would have been still watching him.
Try the comments.
Yeah. Because there's no description.
Or at least find like the organization. But yeah, no, I agree. Like when you have like a champion like this, like the like you said, the John Jones of the slap industry.
Slapped the devil out of him. This man slapped the demons out of him, cleansed him.
I know the comments.
Went back home
so
and applied
savage.
to Chick-fil-A immediately after.
Yeah, damn, he slapped him again.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I don't know what his name is, but I've seen him everywhere. Like, that dude was nasty. That's the only person I would have watched.
Yeah, I have to find this dude.
Slapped him, his contacts out of his eyes. Yo.
Everyone just keeps re-saying what the guy said.
Yeah.
I hate comments anymore.
We'll figure it out. Just leave it up. We'll figure it out. But yeah, another one I wanted to see what you thought of was that car jitsu. Have you seen that?
I seen one video. I turned that off so fast, man.
Yeah, I mean that's the one I kind of feel like it could have some useful skill in the actual world. You could find yourself somebody like maybe in your car or trying to carjack you, and like now you're a professional.
Wait. I haven't heard of that before. It's fighting from like a car.
Oh yeah,
seat.
look it up. Yeah, dude, pull that up. It's the best, dude. Just car jitsu. Yep, competition. It's the best, bro. Oh, come on.
Oh,
that's probably it. That first one's probably it.
This is a real thing.
Yeah.
One dude was getting triangled in the back seat.
Yeah. Well, like they. Oh man, I should have logged into my other account. I gotta do that. Yeah, like they start out like they gotta like be seatbelted, and then as soon as they get in, they like unseatbelt and they just go. It's crazy.
Who came up with that?
Dude, I don't know. Yeah, look at this shit, dude. All the belts.
So they will start
belts.
in
They
the
got
car.
belts, dude.
Gosh, yo.
All right, so watch this, dude. Look at that. They're fighting to get unbuckled. And some of the cars are a lot smaller than this.
Refs?
Yeah, the refs.
What am I watching?
I don't know. This actually doesn't look like that good of a video. I've seen him where like it's pretty quick that he gets like submitted.
He's about to get rear naked here.
Yeah.
Under the chin. He's on the close side here. Oh, this might be over here.
Yeah, he's a little tucked in. I don't know if it's fully in though.
Oh, does he have a hook in? I can't wait. Yeah, this looks like it's about to be over here.
Oh, that's in. Oh, this guy in the back seat. Oh man, it's fighting. Oh, there it is. Whew. Yeah, get him upside down. That's it. I thought he was gonna hop out of the window. I was like, please tell me he doesn't even use the door. Are they going again?
Yeah, they switch seats.
Oh shit!
What,
dude?
Well, if you got the steering wheel in front of you, that's a bit of a disadvantage. That limits your mobility.
Okay, I guess. All right.
Or maybe it's an advantage to.
I mean, if you can use it as like a lever,
fighters.
A handhold.
He just keeps getting his seatbelt off. Right?
Oh! Look at this! Going for a guillotine. Oh. He's out, slipped out.
Can you use the seatbelt?
Now he's got an arm.
I've seen people like wrapping it around people's neck.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, he's got it in his hand.
Get him with the seatbelts a bit.
Oh, shit. He got the seatbelt back around him. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Yeah, he's going for it.
Oh, my God. Yeah, it's too wild.
I feel like once that dude has your back in the situation, it's pretty much over.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to
he can
get back
he
out.
can literally just hold you.
Yeah.
I can't tell. Does he still have the seatbelt wrapped around his neck?
Yep. Well, he's trying. Oh, it's back over his neck. That poor seatbelt. Dude, I love the ref. I love the ref. You're so right. Like, why? You can't see anything.
Like, man,
the ref
learn
is
some some techniques here you can use in your career.
Oh my god.
Car jitsu might sharpen it up.
Oh my god.
He said you got to be well rounded.
Everybody's got a car.
Everybody's got a car.
He's still tangled in that seatbelt.
Like that. Like it looks like he's just stalling here.
Yeah. Well, he won the first round.
Like it looks like he's doing just enough to make it seem like he's still active.
Yeah.
But he's not really doing anything.
I think he actually slipped the seatbelt.
Yeah, he got the sleep. Yeah. So what happens if they tie? Like, do they start in the back seat then?
Can you leave the car?
Oh shit! What happens when they leave the car?
Is it like a sumo rules? You leave the car, you lose?
Yeah, you lose. I don't know.
Oh, we got a Kimura? Oh, this is tight. Yeah. This is
shit.
That's a deep Kimura. That's a deep Kimura.
What if they were allowed to just get out of the car and just fight on the ground? They were there was no limit to where they could go.
Not get out of the car.
Yeah, I would say if you get out of the car, you have to lose.
I'm surprised they were able to push both of them push themselves that far out of the car,
and then to get back up. Oh God, that has to just
be
bad
count?
for you.
That he's touching the ground.
Oh, he's on the mat.
Yep.
Yeah. Can't touch the ground. Can't leave the car.
Damn.
I imagine there's a lot more instances of rug burn in this sport.
Yeah. And then just having to have your arch, your back arch like that as you come out of the driver's window. That's insane.
He unseatbelted for him.
All right. Oh, they just have to restart. They're going to finish out the 11 seconds. Oh, shit.
Ah.
We're really watching this right now.
Talking.
How do you even get into this sport?
The fact that it's even a sport is even more crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, new tactic. They're going for each other's seatbelts first.
That's it. All right, folks. So that's Car-Jitsu. Look it up.
The fact that we just watched it is crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
BJJ Fanatics.
Okay. You about to be pissed?
Way.
Yeah, it's official.
No way.
They're invested. It's official.
I'm about to say stop.
Yeah, no. All right. Well, I mean, it did suck us in.
Then,
it got us in there, but not.
Is this a highlight reel?
I don't think it's gonna take off. Yeah. All right, dude.
It did.
Well, man, this has been fun and an absolute honor to have the champion on the professional career, man. I mean,
yeah, I appreciate it.
It's amazing.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude, we're gonna have to have you again. You know,
oh,
you're
absolutely,
an
man.
awesome guest.
Yeah, when you're big time champion and far outgrown.
Yeah.
Coming to like little podcasts.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I'll definitely be back 100%. Yeah, man, whenever you want to, man.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, and so I mean, obviously, like for your career, but also as a friend, man. It's been so cool, man. And like I said, this podcast has been so good for that, for just being able to like catch up with people that I normally wouldn't have the chance to run into. So it's been cool, dude. So.
Heck yeah, man.
Well,
I'm happy, man. I'm proud of you, man.
Yeah.
Good thing, y'all really came together and did that. And, a lot of people talk about it, but y'all actually did it. You know what I mean? So that's good, man.
Doing it's the hardest part.
Yeah, definitely.
Just starting it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
but,
you're like Joe Rogan's.
Dude.
Don't worry about it. That's how he got there. He just was talking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Fear Factor guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I would say just sitting here having a conversation with you is a lot easier than somebody trying to punch me in the face. So you've got the harder office job than I do.
Oh man.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having
everybody.
me, man.
Isaac Kent, and do you have anything else like social media you want to like shout out, or I mean, I know you're not a huge fan of it,
you
but
want to plug
people, any events you want to plug, or I mean, you shout out some people, but
yeah. So my Instagram. It's 3IZZ. Oh,
we already have it pulled up.
Yeah.
Oh, like they can see that?
No,
we can put it up on the screen.
Yeah,
that's why we leave all the tabs open.
Yeah. So I just say it just so they can hear.
Yeah. You just say so
Okay. Yeah. Now we're gonna like cut out like the other parts, like they didn't hear that. Like, we cut that part out. Like, you know what I mean?
Nah, you're good, dude.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So my Instagram is 3IZZHE3. That's my Instagram. It's Izzy. That's what people usually call me. First and last name is Isaac Kent. Professional fighter now, which is kind of crazy to say, but yeah, that is I. Fight for Maverick. Love those people. Bird, Miss Jenny, Willie, my coach, Rob, who's a diva, looks like Butterbean, Tim Williams, all them guys, Earl Small, Big Easy, everybody, Devontae, Shout out to all those people. But yeah, man, I really appreciate you having me. Yeah. I'm going to definitely tag y'all. Absolutely, man.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah, again, let us know when that first fight is.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
Yeah, we'll shout it out too.
Okay, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, awesome. All right, man. Thank you.
Thank you.